Morning. This is Merlina McCullough from Arkansas, and this is February 8th, and I'm having a Zoom meeting with teachers from the Philippines. Let me see if I can get everybody in. Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry it's late. We had technical problems, and Leslie, thanks for coming. Hey, Leslie,
Hi, hi, ma'am. I'll send a
thank you.
message to the groups
Yeah,
inside.
can you please?
I will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. February the 8th. So let me greet some people that are already here. That's Leslie, and there's John. Oh, John. Nice, John. Debbie, Jason, Venus. Okay. Yeah, hey. This Mike's not here. Hey, John. How are you doing?
Hello, Doc. I'm doing great
Hey, how are
naman
you
po.
doing? Thank you for attending. I am
Yes.
so sorry for being late, but anyway,
Hello, Doc.
yeah,
Good
my alarm
morning.
wasn't off. Anyway, so so was that Venus that greeted us? Okay. So John, what's new with you? Something to share?
Yes, Doc. Currently, I'm having actually my training in computer science here in Missouri because I was asking them regarding the praxis exam, if
Okay.
if I need to take the praxis exam, and they told me that I don't need to take the praxis exam. I just have to go through with the training that they've given me, and all of my teaching license from the Philippines and Maryland as well are accredited now in Missouri. So I have my
Nice.
teaching license in Missouri and as well as the sub certificate.
Oh, nice. Good job. That's a big thing, John. Yeah,
Yes,
because
thank you, Doc.
yeah, you don't have to do TOEFL there, right? You don't have to do TOEFL in Missouri. No
Yes,
TOEFL
Doc.
then. You have to do
Yes.
that in Missouri?
No, they are not requiring
Okay.
TOEFL.
Yeah,
Yep.
because that's what I thought that they didn't. Arkansas, I don't know how many more are the ones requiring, but not very many. So so Leslie, did you do that? Did you do the chat group that we're in? We're an hour late, but
Yes,
we're
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I
thank
sent a
you.
message already. You're
So
welcome, ma'am.
John, Leslie, it's been a long time since you've attended. What's new with you?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. You've been busy.
I've been busy. I mean, my sister and my brother, just got here like late last year, and I had to make sure that they're all settled down, and so we kept coming back and forth to Louisiana because my brother is in there. So like, they're already settled down. They have their own car now,
Oh,
so
nice. Wow. They
they
they have
have.
resettled fast.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah.
take care of everything. I mean, girl is okay because she's with me, but my brother is 5 hours away, so and his family, so we have
Yeah.
to make sure that they're okay. And then something happened, last December, so we were really overwhelmed with a lot of
Yeah.
things happening. But um, well, I just thank God that this year started a little bit okay
Good.
compared
Yeah.
to last year. So
Well,
yeah,
you're so blessed. Leslie is a family of teachers, so there's all three of them are teachers, and all three of them are here. The
yeah.
only one in Louisiana. We need to get him here so that in Arkansas
I
he
know.
be closer. But
And
does he have
that
a?
is all thanks to you, Doc. I
Oh,
mean,
well, thank you. No, you all did a good job on your interviews. But his wife is the one teaching, or both of them are teaching.
his wife is the one teaching right now, and when he got here last year, their landlord is one of the principals in their school district,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "Well, you have to be, in my school next year." And
Mm-hmm.
then, my sister-in-law's principal was like trying to get him too, and she was like, "Oh, no, 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 you have to be in my school." And so he's like, "I don't know what to do." But yeah, they were trying to get him, but they have a 2-year-old child, so
Oh, okay. So he's the one babysitting right now.
he's the one babysitting right now, and I'm not sure
Mm.
if they are, comfortable with, leaving him in a childcare. But yeah.
Some places though, they have a 3-year-old like daycare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Not daycare, but they have a what do you call it?
pre-K.
Program there where they would take, that's part of the school.
Yeah, it's like it's called a pre-K here at
Oh,
Barton. Yeah.
okay. Do they do 3 years old or 4 years old?
Yes, ma'am. This year I think they've changed. They are doing 3 years old. So
Oh, okay.
my nephew is going there. Girl is son, so he's gonna
Okay.
be there this upcoming school year.
Yeah, and that's very good because that's kind of part of school, right?
Yes, ma'am. It
That's
is.
good. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's good if they could get him in, and that way he could get a job. But it's
Yes,
nice
ma'am.
to have double income, like you and Janar. Janar's doing well. Her husband also works at the school, and so he's kind of pretty much more of advisor, supervisor there, right?
The kind of because it's the one because yeah, I think so. Because
He's too
the
humble, but
superintendent was like leaving it up to him. Like he's like, oh, it's up to you what you're gonna do, the entire day, and then I'm just gonna I'm gonna give all my trust to you. So he's doing. We talked to him last December. Was it last December? Yeah, it was last December, and he was like, I know you're doing a three-man's job because he replaced three people.
oh
The three
wow.
of the maintenance guys retired. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, and we see your hard work, and he's doing pretty great. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think all of the Filipinos at Wharton and their husbands too, because they're also we're all working in there.
Yeah. Yeah, they are working well. And then your superintendent always, would brag on y'all. So
Yes,
your
sir.
administrators love them. So anyway, for those others that are still wanting to come here, your husbands or wives, if they have skills, like they're coming here to share about what Junar can do when he came here, and that's helped him get a job, Les.
Yes, yeah. Junar was an electrician back in the Philippines, and he had an experience also with plumbing. And so when he got in here, my school, knew right away, and they were like, "Oh, we have to hire him because they knew that the three maintenance guys were about to retire." So we're like, "We have to have him." So that helped him so much. He's doing. Yeah, fixing all and he's actually doing HVAC right now. The heater and the aircon facility in the
Mm-hmm.
school. He's doing it too. So he's like all around guy around the campus. So it makes him happy also because he's learning a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like at nighttime, he doesn't go to sleep right away. He would like look up things
Uh,
online because it's different in here, and that's how he learned. Is like I'm just happy that I did this because
mhm.
he has learned so much, over the past years.
So what would you advise to spouses that are maybe coming here as J2?
Um, if they are like if their spouses are coming in here, they should be gathering a lot of skills in the Philippines. Like I think technical vocational skills are very affordable in the Philippines. So I think enrolling themselves prior to coming in here would really like attract a lot of jobs,
Yeah.
not just in the school.
Yeah, anywhere. Yeah, right?
Yes, ma'am. And Junior is like during the weekends, he doesn't stay at home. Like the locals here knew about his skills. Like right
Mm-hmm.
now at 8 in the morning, he's gonna go somewhere else because one of the locals here wanted him to, do a lot of things in their facility, and
Mm. Does he
he
does he
texted.
charge them? Does he charge them?
Yes, he's being paid $25 per hour.
Hour?
It's greater
That's so
than what
good.
he's earning at school.
Yeah.
But yeah, because they knew, especially at church, because like people knew about him, and so the words are spreading everywhere. So they're like, "Oh, there's our man," and so yeah,
Yeah.
every weekend they would try to contact him and do things for them.
And he is good. He's really good. My dishwasher was messed up and I was gonna buy another one, and he came over here and fixed it. And then he would not take money. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what can I do for them?
Oh,
But
he was trying to like last night. I think I forgot to send you a text because I was really tired last night. But he was asking if you turn like if you plug in your fridge, is there something that's showing up on the screen like an error code?
I'll have to look because he had unplugged it. So I'll have to look because we were
Yeah.
supposed to buy a refrigerator today, Leslie, and that's not cheap. A refrigerator here that with the ice
Yes.
maker, it's like more than $1,000. It's more than 50,000 pesos. So we're close more than 60,000
Oh
really.
my God.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, oh, and I have a really good one, and it's only 5 year old. So machine.
Listener
So
said you could like text us the error code. He might be able to
see
find
what it is.
see
Yeah.
something, and maybe he went to Mike's house over the weekend, and he was
Mm.
like trying to fix your dryer or washer, and he just found out that it was missing a part. So maybe something's going on with the fridge, and he might be able to fix it.
Yeah, because here, if you ask somebody to come in, they'll start charging you $100 or whatever, just because you
Yes, it's
came. And I'm
expensive.
like, whether they fix it or not, you're already out that much. So if you have
Hmm.
a refrigerator that would need a big part, so it's not even worth fixing, because the brand is LG, and LG is really complicated, I guess, supposed to be. So the advice of the local guy here says, "Oh, you just buy another one."
Oh no.
To buy another one, because if it's gonna be very expensive, you might as well buy another one. But I just hate to not ask Janar, because I know I could really trust his judgment. So anyway, so that's why I sent you a picture.
Yes, if ever you get the code, ma'am, he'll see to it that he can look it up online and find parts, because he found a page or like a website that sells different parts of
Mm,
different electronics. So
mm.
that's where he got his
Okay, well, that's
magic.
cool. Yeah. Yeah, so that is a really great lesson for teachers that are coming
Mhm.
here. For you to have double income, you're gonna have to have some skills, and skills including driving. Some there are places
Yes,
here. Yeah, right? Because like if you end up in a big city like Little Rock, which is the capital, you could be like a Uber driver, Lyft driver. So, and they make good money, those Uber driver. They just pick up customers and take them to places or deliver food or whatever, and they get paid quite a bit. So, yeah, some
yeah.
people are doing that for a living.
And J2s are not limited to one job, so they can work, as many jobs as they can in a day. Like Junior is working as a maintenance and a bus driver at the same time, so he's doing two jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and they're allowed to do that. Unlike J1s who are only, we're only stuck with teaching.
Teaching. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for H-1B folks, the one that have H-1B, your spouses would become H-4. They're
Yeah.
called H-4 visas. And the problem with that is, I mean, it's not, it's a really good visa, but then the little disadvantage is that you cannot work, your spouse cannot work until the original spouse that got the job will get his or her a green card. So
Yeah.
once the person is a green card holder, then you can work, and then you can ask for your EAD, which is employment authorization document, and so you cannot do it before that. And I think that's what happened with Mike, right? Mike is H-1B,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Bell is I guess waiting for his green card, right? Because they're
Yes.
waiting on theirs. Yeah, the nice thing about H-1B is that it's a 6 year limit compared to a 5 year limit with J1. But the best situation is that it's a path to green card. So
Yes, ma'am.
once they get their green card, after being in America for 5 years, they could get their citizenship, take their test, and then get their citizenship. So then they could stay, for however long they want. But I think green card lasts about 10 years. So you actually have, that many years to like get ready for your citizenship. But I would recommend that if you have a school, if you're applying for a school and they're asking you what kind of visa, you need to see if they're interested in H-1B visa, because H-1B visa is where the school will actually pay for everything, right? All the expenses will be paid, and that's visa related. And so it really will not cost you anything, you know. So there was a school, and I just found this out, that there was a school that actually charged people, although it's H-1B, and they got banned. They can no longer, get teachers to come, international teachers, because of that. They're banned. I don't know for how long, but I think, yeah. So I think that's not a good thing if you have a school that will kind of cheat. So H-1B, it is a very good deal for teachers. J1 is another, but J1 is faster actually. J1 is faster. It's a teacher exchange program. You have to have a sponsor, but then it's only for 5 years, and the condition is after 5 years you have to go back to the Philippines and get two years there in order to teach about what you learned in America. Then after that, you can always do another 5 years, you know. There's unlimited amount. But the what happens a lot is that after the 5 years and the school really likes you, they would not have you. I mean, after you come back, they're not gonna they're gonna ask you to be H1B. And that way you'll be longer. You may forever here, you know. But it's very rare to find a school that would actually sponsor immediately for H1B because A, the expense, you know, and B, they don't really know you yet. You know, if what if they hire somebody and then they don't know if that person is any good. You know, that's why a lot of time J1 first and then H1B. But right? Do you agree, Les?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Because I think, especially in our school, we're the first Filipinos in there. And I think, the first time they hired us, they were testing the water if we are all right, if we were hardworking and all that. And I think it took us a year to prove ourselves. And
Well, I
so
think no,
after
you.
that,
I think that yeah, that first year you really did already because they just really love you all, you know, so much. And now they're like the best teachers there. I really that's my opinion, and that's their opinion too. That the Filipino teachers work hard and they know their content, you know, and you know how to make to establish positive relationship with parents and students and other stakeholders, and those are good comments, you know, coming from the administrators. And I hear that everywhere. You know, so
yeah,
that's why a lot of them they would not just stop hiring like one batch. They usually want to do more because they see how good the teachers are and how dedicated they are and positive with students, you know. You're not going to be screaming at the kids or whatever. At least I don't have one that we hired that was doing that. I hope they're not doing it. But I know in the Philippines that kids are so compliant. So Leslie, what is the difference between what you experience in the Philippines on students and other things? What is the big difference that you could share?
well, Well, there's a lot of things, but the first thing that I've noticed when I got in here, I mean, I was handling elementary kids in the Philippines. Well, I tried handling middle school because sixth grade is a part of middle school if you are going to compare it to the American system. Well, in the Philippines, even the sixth graders are, very compliant, as what you said. They don't ask you questions. I mean, they would do whatever you want them to do. And if you are not feeling well, if you are tired, and you will say, well, I have a headache today, so can you all keep quiet and just, do self study, read the book, and all that? And they would do that. But
And be quiet. Yeah.
in here, no, you can't expect them to do that. They will ask you questions, they will test your limit. And especially if you are new, and especially that I'm not, from in here, and they knew that I'm from somewhere in Asia, and they're like, oh, the first day that I got in here, they were like, what are you doing in here? Are you for real? Are you really a teacher? Because I am tiny. I am actually 4'10". And so they were like, you're not supposed to teach us. And I'm like, no, I am a teacher. And so they were asking me personal questions, how old I was I married? And I was like, and I didn't know back then that they were, they can ask me that questions. And I was like, those questions. And I was like, yeah, this I'm already I was 32 years old by that time. I'm already 32 years old. I have a daughter back home, and I have a husband too. And they're like, how many husbands do you have? Like, I'm like, I only like one. And I'm like, oh, that's boring. And they're like telling
They're
me
so
that
funny.
so funny. And I'm like, and so we were like, oh, that's what I have for all you guys. And they were like, okay. So, and then I started my lesson, and they were asking me about all the things in the world that I didn't expect them to, ask me. And when I asked them something, like, get a sheet of paper or do this and do that, they have to, you have to explain it to them, because and like in the Philippines, where there will be no questions asked. Like, yeah, well, they'll get the sheet of paper, they'll do it right away. But in here, like, what are we trying to do? Why do you want us to do this? What's the purpose of this? And so, yeah,
The
it's
rationale, because American children are raised to be critical
yes.
thinkers. They
Mhm.
they are encouraged to ask questions. And in fact, as a former administrator, when I observe teachers, I really like it when that students feel comfortable to ask teachers things. That means they're not afraid of the teacher, that the teacher is actually open, and especially if they're asking questions that are related to your content, to your topic, and they're asking you to elaborate or give examples, or how about this, how about that. Those are things that are really good for students to do. But if you have a teacher that intimidates them and are not nice to them, they're not going to ask those questions. So, Leslie, obviously, you made them feel comfortable with you, right?
Yes, I think I made them very comfortable that the next day I was having a hard time answering all the questions. So I was like, I have learned my lesson. And so it was a trial and error method because it was my first time handling, high school students. So I struggled a lot. And I really thank God that you came in the picture. Like, the next few months you were in there because I I was really struggling. I think I remembered I called you and I was like crying. I'm like, Dr. Merlina, I'm really having a hard time. I was having a hard time with my content because I'm not really a math major. I was handling math back then. And so I was like, I really didn't know what to do. So you came in, helped me so much. I would keep on repeating this. The first time you came in my classroom, there were 15 things that I listed down. And I was so happy that you did it, that you showed me what are the things that I need to improve, because I think that's the reason why I'm doing a lot better today.
No, you're a good natural
Yeah.
teacher, but you just did not know the standards here. And when I observed you, I used the standards that the principals would look for, because I was a former principal. And so then I noticed these are some things that may be a little weak that you need to tweak. But you really were not bad at all, Leslie. You're very natural, and and she listed all these things. I mean, I was just talking to her like, how about this? You might want to do this, this. She was listing all these things on her phone. And when I came back, I was having a hard time looking for what can I say to her that's still weak. She's she already kind of fixed them. So yeah. So no, you were never a
Like,
bad teacher, Leslie. You're just a natural. So
I have to be very honest. Like right now, if I'm having a bad day, like if especially if the day is really overwhelming for me, I would go back to the list
oh yeah,
and I would tell myself, well, I did this all. And I'm like, well, it makes me feel better knowing that I have come so far.
you have.
And
I
yeah.
mean,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, 2 years. I mean, I think I worked with you for more than a year. Like you came in like first few months during my first year, and then the second year you were with me the whole time. It made me feel so confident that right now, like, I mean, I'm still having sometimes that like I'm still having bad days, but I always go back to where I came from, like the day one with
Yeah.
you. And it made
Well,
me feel so happy that knowing that I have really, learned a lot from you.
Well, thank you. I learned from you too, Les, and we learn from our students. You need to remember that
Yes.
we don't have all
Yeah.
the knowledge; they do too. But Leslie's school actually hired me as a consultant, so I was going there like once a month, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, and my job really is that wean me, to wean the school, like they don't need me anymore, and that's you work yourself out of a job, and that's actually my goal. It's like when the school doesn't need me anymore because these teachers are so strong already, they don't need my help, then that's actually a compliment for me, right? Because
Yes.
yeah, if the school still, continues to need me, then that means, well, okay, so they still feel like they need more help. Because right now, your help are from the local folks now, from your administrators and so on, who are so good. I mean, she's so blessed with really strong administrators. I need to ask one of them, like Miss Young, and maybe Miss
Miss
Mrs.
Guthrie.
Guthrie or Dr. Guthrie. I need to ask one of them to come. I just hate to ask people on a Saturday,
I know.
to come. Who do you think of the three that I need to
I
that will
think
wake up
I
early
think
and do
Miss
it?
Debbie, because
Debbie.
I think she's a morning person. Like I
Okay.
would see, like
I
I would
ask her
take.
for me. Ask her for me.
I
I will
will
do it.
try to talk to her and
Okay.
ask her to
Okay, you know
join.
when my schedule is, because you let me know, and Mike, because then Mike can make a poster with her
Yes,
pictures,
ma'am.
as a picture, and then that way the teachers can ask about curriculum things. She knows, she's very knowledgeable.
She
I
is.
Yeah.
She is our instructional facilitator, and
She's
she That's all that.
Yeah, been in education for maybe, I don't know, 20 some years.
Yes.
Yeah. So I
And
think
she's
she'll be
very
good.
humble,
Yeah.
like you, just like
Well,
you.
thank you.
Yeah,
You,
very.
she's very
She's
humble.
so down to earth.
Yeah. But thank you, Les. Leslie always has some really meaty ideas when she comes. Oh, yeah. And lastly, talk about the experiences of Ixora, your daughter. Tell
Oh,
them about her, learning and her shock and things that she
yes.
hear.
Exora came in here when she was in fourth grade, so she started fourth grade in. I mean, no, the middle of the school year. She came in middle of the school year. I really, I was really thinking that she will have a hard time at school because it's a new environment. The culture is pretty much different from the Philippines, and most especially the standards. The curriculum is different. We were not used to technology and all that in the Philippines. But I was really surprised that Ixora kept up with everybody else for like a week or so, and she did that, and she's a consistent with honors from that day up to this day. She's in sixth grade right now. She's about to graduate. I have
Yeah,
a
they graduate here in
milestone.
elementary, yeah. And
Yeah,
and she's
so
very strong. She's like the strongest with the highest what rating in reading or
when she
something, the
was in
highest.
fourth grade, yeah, I was really surprised because one of the I think it was Miss Debbie, or no, it was her teacher who talked to me, and she was like, "Did you know that Exora topped all the fourth graders in reading? It was like like a state test, and
Mhm.
she topped the fourth grade exam. So I was very proud of her.
That is, and that is common, right? Because there's a lot of Filipinos in your area.
Yes.
You talk about it. The kids are doing amazing.
All of the kids, I guess, here in the Delta part of Arkansas are doing pretty great. Athletic careers, all of the kids in here,
Mhm.
they're with honors. They're
Mhm.
all with honors, and I can't believe, that Filipinos are, doing
Mhm.
that. The kids,
Yeah.
I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of these kids. And
Uh-huh.
Exora, I think because they are just kids,
Mhm.
it was not hard for her to transition. Unlike me and Junar, who are adults, that it was really a hard time for us, accepting the culture, blending in, and all that. For her, it was like it was super. She was
Smooth
like,
transition, yeah.
well, yeah, and until now, I can't believe that she has adopted the culture, because sometimes I would like Exora, remember that you're a Filipino, and she's
You
like,
act like
I know, because she has adopted so much that sometimes it's overwhelming for me as a parent, because it's hard for me now to blend both of the cultures.
really? Yeah.
And
But
so
I
I'm
think
like,
one thing that you did really right, I think, is that of course she's so good, that's a given. But she also came in already fluent in English because
yeah,
you were always speaking in English to her at home. And because you had me talk to her before she even got here. Remember, you were here ahead.
yes, ma'am.
I talked to her and I'm like, oh my gosh, Leslie, she's already a very fluent English speaker. Yeah, because since little, right? You were always talking to her in English.
Yes, I was always reading to her. And I have to tell you this because I'm just so proud of her. Like every quarter, she receives $20 from her teacher, because she's the first one to always reach her AR reading goal.
Wow.
Like
Arkansas, that's accelerated reader. That's a
reading. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Accelerated reading goal, and she's always the first one amongst all the sixth graders, and she would always get $20 from her teacher. Like she would come home like, I have $20. I'm like,
Oh my
well,
God.
where did you get it? I'm like, Miss Bonner gave it to me. What did you get it for? And she's like, well, I finished my AR reading goal. I'm like, so, and she's like, I'm the first one.
They give money, and that's like more than 1,000 pesos. But really,
Yes.
not very many teachers would give money. A lot of times when I was a teacher, of course, I have more than 30 years of experience now. But I always did like a treasure chest. So they get
Uh-huh.
things from me. They never got money from me. I would get like a coupon. Like I remember doing a coupon for like they get to go to the movies with me with the family. And they
Aww.
could also invite an adult with them. But anyway, so that's experience sometime, or go to a Chinese restaurant with me with the family, all that with an adult. So those are experiences, but I never handed money out. So I do not know if many teachers do that, but that's really innovative for the teacher to do it. And that's very generous of that teacher to do it.
She is. She is very generous. And
Yeah.
also, I forgot to tell you. I think I forgot to give you an update. I already have my Arkansas teaching license, the standard one.
Good
I
job.
Yeah, I had to take three praxis tests, and it
Congratulations,
took
Les.
yeah, it took me so long to take those tests because I'm like, why do I have to go back to studying and all that? Because
Skills. It's about your skills. Yeah, your
yeah, so I'm
content.
like, oh, why do we have to go back? But I did take all those three praxis, and I passed it, and I have my standard license now. And I have to tell you that most of the Filipino teachers here in the Delta part have passed their praxis tests, and we're almost, I mean, almost like, yeah, I think almost have their own standard licenses already.
Very good. That's a very good
Yes.
accomplishment, especially in Arkansas, because Arkansas has so many requirements. Like TOEFL is an extra, and then all these classes and all these courses you have to meet also in the portal, in the Arkansas Ideas portal, right? Some PD things that you have to do.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
have a lot of PDs. And the hardest part for me was really the praxis test. It
Yeah.
it was so hard that I mean, I don't have, good study habits. So I really tried my best. And so, yeah, but it was really hard. But yeah, most of the teachers here passed the tests. And I tell you, ma'am, it wasn't
A
easy.
lot.
The
But
tests were,
there's a cut-off score, and then but a
yes.
lot of the locals though, they don't pass it the first time, you guys. So it takes them multiple times, and you have to pay every time. With TOEFL, we have some Filipino teachers that could not even pass it after 6, 7 times of
Wow.
taking it, and they move to another state that will not require TOEFL. And TOEFL and Praxis you can take them from ETS, the www.ets.org, and you can actually take these things from where you are, from the Philippines, right? Because it's
Yes, but you
online.
just have to go to a testing center in the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
and so you can take it from there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it is wise for you to just take the TOEFL in the Philippines and just do your praxis in here. And because if you have a TOEFL already, you will have like a 2-year provisional license,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's your time to study for the praxis because it's not really easy. You really have to
Right.
study for it. So I think that 2 years for 2 years you can do that
Yeah.
study. Prepare for your praxis, and then after that you can get your license. I think
Okay.
Arkansas is one of the hardest state,
To get a
to
license. Yeah.
start.
Hi, Leslie. I have someone that would say hi to you. She's a surprise visitor here
I
that
know
came
who is that.
yesterday.
Hi,
Hi.
Kate. How are
Hi, Liz. Good
you?
morning,
Okay,
everyone.
introduce yourself. Okay.
I am Kathleen, and I'm the art teacher in Helena, West Helena, Arkansas. Maybe some of you already hi. I'm feeling a bit under the weather, and everybody's getting it here. There's no exemption, and it's just so tiring to take medicine because it's because of the weather. It's just, we're getting headache, sickness, and, parents are sending the kids, to the school even if they are so sick, But anyway, it's been like a exciting journey, hi, experiencing all of these things that we don't, usually experience in the Philippines, the winter, the fall, all the seasons.
Right.
But yeah, I just want to say hi and to wish everybody. I hope all is well.
Give
And
them a tip, though.
yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah.
the tip, the things that you want to share?
Yeah, I think I have a lot, but yeah, I'm so sorry. Apologies for my voice is a little bit hoarse right now. Because yeah, like I said, because we're getting a lot of sickness. So first of all, I would like to congratulate, the passers, praxis passers. I'm also one of the teachers who's going to take this exam, this test, but I'm still in the process of reviewing because mine is one of the hardest and most difficult exam because it's art K to 12, like it's more on like American standards. So yeah, I'm really trying my best to like what Leslie said, manage my time well when it comes to stressors, because it's so normal here. And then really give your time to review, because you can't avoid it. You really have to face it because it's one of the requirements. And in any state, I'm not really speaking solely specifically in Arkansas, but also with, other states. So it's something that you really have to face, because the school district will really, pester you, require you, ask update about where you're at, the checking in. But yeah, I'm just glad to hear about good news today. And yeah, we're really enjoying our weekend, because it's like a borrowed time here in the US, and it's really tiring, when you're in the classroom. It's like clean, good, tired every time. It's like you're tired, but it's so fulfilling that, you are doing this job for the kids and for the school, and for, for the purpose of being here as a J1 cultural exchange teachers. So we are very close towards the end now, and I think Leslie and the other teachers can also feel the, I don't know, it's a different kind of tired, really, you know. But yeah, any tips? Any tips? What can I say? So everything that you have learned in the Philippines, for those who are in the Philippines, that's really a big help. I know Filipinos are resilient, patience. I think that's one thing that we should really, parang we need to take with us, when we come here, in all aspects. Because if we wanted something, like I've always wanted this, and then when you come here, it's a different story, you know it's like you are meeting. Yeah, like it's like classroom management in the Philippines. It's like, I wouldn't say it's easy, you know nothing is hard until it's easy. If you master, this the techniques, the strategies and all, but you really have to know your students. As for me, in art, they only come to art class once a week. I don't keep the kids. I'm not a homeroom teachers. I think Leslie also is one of those teachers that don't keep the kids. We don't keep the kids. But what I really make sure and always do to create, this kind of student teacher relationship, and not all really are into art. Here, I'm still trying to have the kids, appreciate art education. My struggle really is having the kids focus and really engage in my class. You have to really be creative. You don't just talk. You have to have yeah, hands on, and like I do like center tables, because we are dealing with different personalities. So that will fall to differentiated instruction. So if the kid is like under 504, the 504 here is like the students that are really have the condition that modified. So if you have some sort of like, like you have this specific lesson, and then you really have to have extra emergencies, because this kind of specific lesson, it will, I somehow won't work for them. But despite all of this, they should learn. They should come to school and be able to learn. And I want to, even if I'm tired, even if I'm exhausted, I always want to make sure when they come out of art room, they have something. I really want to make sure that we are being productive, and we are being, like their hands are busy. Like I barely can't sit. I walk around. I I walk around. If you have like straight 8 classes per day, which is, I'm glad that I have like at least 5 to 6, and then I have rest in between. So it's really important that you also have to plan for your lessons accordingly. Yeah, so it really helps you like manage your time because I'm terrible at managing my time. It's not all, I tell you, it's not all bed of roses. It's not all traveling here and get to get to experience the American life. Although we're very blessed, I am very blessed right now. Yesterday I'm stressed, for the entire week because like I said, this is like the month that it feels like it's the longest month of the year, the January, but February is like, oh my God, only have 28 days, and you get to spend some time going to a friend's house, Dr. Merlina's beautiful. I'm not trying to make you jealous, but it's really nice here, and I'm glad, I'm so blessed. She had me over, and every time you want to take a break and wind, you just come here. Just relax yourself, get some rest, and do what you need to do to really, really manage your stressors in life in the US. Yeah, so
Your mental health.
your mental health is really important. And in the Philippines, we really don't like,
Need it.
we are resilient, we just, brush it off. We are feeling, we just say we're okay. But yeah, we really have to take time to really, address those needs. Yeah, just like, how here, what I learned really, I really learned how to be more empathetic, when it comes to my student, because you can't just say like, because I heard from the locals every time they deal with the kids, it's like pasigaw.
They're screaming at them.
They're raising voice at them. They are very aggressive, and then the kids, they come to school because of the fact that at home, I'm not generalizing, that
Not all
some of them are really wanting.
difficult homes.
Yeah, they're wanting nurturing, but because they have difficult home situations. That's why I always want to have this mindset that I'm gonna greet my kids. I'm gonna ask how they are. You really have to check in every time. If they don't respond to you, that's fine. Most kids here are like just happy go lucky, and then I would want that for them. But other kids, it's like they're paying their bills. It's like they have all this weight, the responsibilities, and that's because they are taking care of this younger siblings. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, parents are not at home. They are grandmas, grandpas, so that's it. Like, but in all honesty, it's a roller coaster kind of experience. Feel all the emotions, feel all the feels, enjoy. For those who are aspirants, keep the drive, keep the faith, and if we can do it, you can do it too. Yeah, I'm always this kind of person who's always positive, that you know um because it was not easy for me to be here. My journey coming to America wasn't easy. I tell you, you would have want. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would like to share a little bit of history of my experience. It's really was frustrating, challenging, and eventually it was all sorted out because of Mom Dr. Merlina's help. And I think Leslie also contributed to that. Each one here is like a helping hand. Yeah, yeah. If you need help, reach out. It's okay to ask. And during my time, it's like I was stopped in the immigration at the airport because I don't know if it's like a stubbornness or hard-headedness, because I was like trying to really come here, and then I
Came from another country.
I came from another country which is Vietnam. And for those who do not know, I used to work in Vietnam for 4 years as an art teacher too. I was connected with an international baccalaureate IB school and another what do you call this, international bilingual school. So because of my friends who influenced me to come here, and then they really pushed me to have the American dream. Then I tried, then I really tried, and it was like, oh, okay, let's give it a try. And then I was like, I had my interview, and it didn't I mean, I didn't pass in Vietnam because you have to have strong ties in the Philippines. I tried. I think I tried 2 times in Vietnam, and then I failed. I really failed. I did not pass. So if if I will just listen to these voices, which I'm hearing telling myself stop, because I think it's not for you. I if I did stop, I'm not gonna be here. But I tried. What I did, because my visa sponsor, I hate to say this. My visa, yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna name drop though. My visa sponsor, um, I was kind of disappointed because they were the one who gave up on me first. You know, they said they're gonna get my this 2019 and then all these papers. But you know what I did? I did not return all the stuff. I keep pushing because I have my agency still. If these two what do you call this, factors in my applications, if one of them gave up and the other one is still fighting, I'll be taking the side that still fighting. So that's what I did. So I did not follow what the visa sponsor told me, and then I followed the agency. And then yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, like I said, but uh until the decision, I came to the decision that I have to pursue, I still have to do it. And then they kind of support me, somehow, yeah, later. But yeah, when I had my interview in the Philippines, I passed in the Philippines finally. And then after that experience, it didn't stop. So it was a long story. And then I came here to the US, and then I was stopped in the immigration at the airport. And then that's because there are some stuff, paperwork that needs to be done by the visa sponsor. Since I don't have a contact with my visa sponsors for quite a while during, yeah, they didn't respond to me really at all. Then I keep going. I just keep going. So as long as I have my DS 2019. And then when I was in the room where, they told me like, you need to go back to the Philippines. Oh my God, I was crying. You need to go back to the Philippines because we don't have any, like approval like in the online. Everything looks okay, they said. And then there's only one thing, it's like the CVs, I think. Yeah. And then the officer is like, he's looking at me, and then I remember he said like, you are not some kind of like illegal or what. I don't think you are. And then, okay, give me a phone number or contact number that we can contact, so we will know that we are on the same page here. And then I gave, like, I think I gave the principal's phone number. No, the visa sponsor. No answer, which is good thing. Which is a good thing also, because if they answer, maybe, yeah, they might have sent me back. But then I asked, I had Dr. Merlina's number that time, and then they called. They called, and then I remember so clear that during the time she was in the district, and she was with our HR, who human resource head. And then they were like, I think they're in the middle of conversation or what, and her phone is in the car. And I think Leslie, that was Leslie,
Yeah.
Miss Leslie, who saw that, someone's calling from
Yeah, she was in a
it's like an
class.
American. I don't know what's
It was from
uh,
something from Texas.
yeah, I was in
Yeah.
Houston the time. I was in Houston airport. And then I was like, please, take the call, answer it. And then I was like, and then the officer is looking at me like I was really crying.
Oh.
I was really crying. So bad. I felt
So
bad.
finally I answered, right?
Yeah, and she finally answered, which is a good. Thank God she answered. And then she like explained everything that the class will start on Monday because I only have like 2 days, like 3 days I think before the start of the class. We came pretty late, with all the trainings and all, but yeah, so she answered, which is I'm so glad, and until now I can't forget that.
So Miss Mills also talked.
And also the human resource head, Miss Mills, also answered together with Ma'am Ellen.
Shortage of teachers, yeah.
Yeah, and then they really tried their best to, really convince the officer, because the officer don't really look good at all. Like they're just doing their work. I mean, I don't blame them. And after that, they had this talk, and then you know what? I was praying, and at the same time I was waiting when the call stopped, and then he hang up. Okay, ma'am, listen, don't cry, don't cry, stop crying. We're not gonna cry here. Go to your plane. Bring your stuff. Go to your plane, and they need you. They need you in that school. They need you in that school. You have to be there on Monday. I tell you, the experience is like crazy. But I'm so thankful for Dr. Merlina, with all sincerity and all, because I tell you, I'm not gonna be here because of these people. So but that's my experience. That's my story.
American journey.
American journey, and it could be a story of somebody, but in the different, picture. But yeah, like I said, just keep
going.
keep
Keep fighting.
keep fighting. I tell you, keep fighting, keep pushing yourself. There will be bad days, there will be good days. Pray a lot, and be with good people. Ask help, and yeah, you'll never know. You'll never know. We'll never know. What's out there and in store for us. And yeah, I really hope one that are everybody's who's on the journey, and on the process of coming here, that it might not be easy, but it's all gonna be worth it.
Doable.
It's doable.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and have a good day. In the Philippines, it's like what time? Gabi na?
Yeah, it's 9,
Yeah,
11.
yeah, it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just glad, and I feel relieved also. Yeah, I think I feel better now.
Good job.
Bye, Les. Bye, Les, and bye, everyone.
Bye, Kate.
Yeah, you have a good day. Thank you.
You
Thank you. God bless.
too.
There's sushi there, mate. Okay. Awesome job there, Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah, her journey was one of the most difficult. Like Leslie and I know, and she gave me too much credit. No, it's her really. She's very a very strong person and would fight for what she wants. And she's not saying that you should not listen to visa sponsor. You have to listen to visa sponsor. It's just that she happened to have a very difficult one. Luckily for her, she already gave her the paperwork that she needed, but it was really a hard situation. And that is maybe 1 out of 1 million or 10 million that would happen, or 100 million that would happen that way. Because a lot of times it's very smooth. You don't have that situation. And I think because they gave up on her, they just thought she's already like a no go, you see. And then that's where, I always say do not hire a third party sponsor, but in her case, it actually helped her to kind of encourage her, keep going. They have not officially withdrawn the paperwork, so there's still hope. But a lot of time all the time, you should always listen to your sponsor, your visa sponsor. What do you think, Les? Right? But in her case, it just kind of
Yes,
helped her
Liz.
this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to
Yeah,
listen.
you really have to. I mean, yeah. They're the ones who's gonna protect you here. They're the reason you're coming in here. So it has to be them, that should know first. But it's always different for every person. So I think Kate's story is really one of, I think the most
Rare.
challenging one that I've heard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
so.
but I knew Kate as a person who really pushes through everything. So yeah, it's not a surprise to
Yeah.
me.
If it happened to a weaker person, they would have given up for sure.
No,
Yeah.
yes, Jim. I
Yeah.
mean, it's really, it's always a different story for everybody. Mine was, I was just lucky to have a smooth sailing process. Girlie's was hard too because she was expecting something else, and then something happened, and then she ended up this way. Like she had from H1B to J1, but it's as what Kate has said. Everything is happening for a reason. I mean, and if you are not in here yet and you have applied, so many schools already, I mean, it's not the end. I mean, the time is not right yet. I mean,
Yeah.
I always believe that, God has something in store for us. And so, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
That's right. And with Kate's story, her visa sponsor actually had a change of heart and became very supportive of her, and still continues to support her. What changed? What changed?
The head talked
Oh,
to me,
the
and then
supervisor was the one.
it's like Hamilton also.
Oh,
Her
okay.
last name is Hamilton, and then she said she can't believe that
Yeah.
it's possible that although they actually apologize also for the fact that
It's the worker then. It's the
yeah,
worker's fault. Okay.
yeah, there are like, under them, like, but I don't want to place the blame on anybody. So after that, they were very supportive until now.
Mm-hmm.
They are still very supportive and keep checking in, and
Yeah.
I mean,
You can
if
do it here without your sponsor, you guys. You would need a
yeah,
sponsor. Yeah, you really do. So,
yeah, I think they really have the power.
they do. They do have all
Yeah,
the power. So,
they
yeah.
have all the power for your stay here, and everything legal matters.
Mm-hmm.
You have to,
You need a sponsor. You need your
yeah, you
sponsor
need your
signature.
visa
Yeah.
sponsor.
Yeah. So that they play such a big role.
Yeah,
And
big
so
part.
yeah, and that was very I'm telling you, she was really blessed that she I happened to answer my phone and Leslie happened to be in the car because I think we were going to my house, right, Les?
Yes, I think we just got here, and then
Oh,
we were
okay.
planning to. I think it was like our day two in America, and you came in, and you were like, "You want to go to my place?" And your place like 4 hours away. So we're like, "Yeah," and so we jumped in, and then I think I saw your phone, and then what was on the screen was like Texas Department. So I think I was like, I think this is something really important because it wouldn't say Texas Department if it's not important. So I was like rushing, outside the car and gave to your phone, and you answered it, and that was Kate. So
Yeah.
yeah, I can still remember
Yeah.
that time. But yeah, I think it's how many are we in here? I think a lot of people wanted to share too. But before I'm going to, say bye bye because it's Saturday, and my nephew is here, Exara is here. Gian, he was like looking at the camera a while ago because he wanted to say hi.
He can
Gian,
say
come
hi.
on here.
He can
Hey,
say
come
hi
on
and Exora can say hi.
here.
It's
You
okay.
want to say hi to everybody? Come here. Oh, he's oh.
Well, he's
But
living the dream.
he is. And before I'll go, I just wanna, because Kate talked about 504 plans and IEPs and all that. As a special ed teacher, I just wanna tell everybody because a lot of the new teachers are here, and some of the teachers that are in the Philippines are also coming in here. Most of the time, regular ed teachers, do not pay attention to the 504 plans and IEPs and all that. Um, in our school as a special ed teacher, I always make sure that I gave all the teachers the copies of all the IEPs at the beginning of the school year for them to what are the accommodations that they have to do with the kids that are in their class, especially that we are doing inclusion as of the moment. So you really that's your bible actually for the the special ed children. You cannot just take that for granted and just hang it on your wall or whatever, or put it inside your cabinet and all that. You have to really read it and learn it by heart
Mhm.
because it's really really important for you to know what are the accommodations that your kids have, especially the special ed kids. please learn it by heart and do it because
It's against the law. You could
the
get in big
law,
trouble.
and you're gonna get in trouble if you don't do it. Like
Yeah.
if the kids have an accommodation, like they have to be seated specifically in your classroom, you really have to do that. If their schoolworks have to be modified, like lesser number of items, you really have to do that. I think that's the most important thing as a regular ed teacher. Please make sure that you're looking into it, because sometimes it's being overlooked, and that's a problem.
Mhm. That is a problem. Yeah. Very good tip. Leslie, I'm telling you, you and Kate did an awesome job. Thank you so much. Kate, yeah, Kate surprised me yesterday calling me and said, "Is that okay if I come?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're welcome anytime." The only time that I would say, I don't know, because when the kids are all here and the grandkids, when my guest house is occupied, then, you have to get a hotel or something. But it wasn't. So the guest house was open and I'm like, "Okay, Kate, come." And so then I told my husband, I'm like, "We have company coming." And so yeah, I'm always happy when they're family to me. Everybody's a family to me, right, Les? And
Yes,
so
ma'am.
yeah,
All the
and
time.
that always helps. And in your own neighborhood too, because you have also formed your own, community of Filipino teachers there, right?
Yes.
Tell them
Yes,
about your
ma'am.
get-togethers on weekends. What do you
We
usually?
u- we usually get together on weekends, but as of the moment, like January, as what have Kate said, January was really overwhelming for everybody, I guess, because we only gathered like once last January because everybody was busy. The schedule was very hectic, and yeah, but everybody's just a chat away. I mean, everybody's helping everybody, so yeah, and I'm just happy that we have this community in Helena where everybody is helping, and everybody is always ready to
Supportive?
lend a
Yeah,
helping hand.
yeah,
Yeah,
supportive.
and yeah, and I think you started that community in here, from Anna, Sir Ernest,
Yeah, they're leaders now. Yeah, you all
the leaders.
are leading. Yeah.
Yeah, so and you started that, and they're maintaining that community in here, and welcoming all the new ones. That's
Hmm.
very
Mike is
pleasing for
active.
me.
Mike is very active too, right?
Oh, sir, yeah, I don't know why he's not here today,
Yeah,
but
I'm
he's one
surprised.
of the most active,
Yeah,
members of the community, and
yeah.
he tells us when is the schedule for the next ayuda, because we usually get ayudas from somebody, and he would always tell us the schedule. But yeah, everybody is helping everybody, and I'm just so glad that we have a very positive community here at the Delta. And thank you, Dr. Merlina, for starting that. And I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so sorry. I would like to apologize for not being around for so long, but I would just like to thank you for all of the things that you have done for me and my family. I mean, uh, even if you will always tell if you will always tell me that it's not me, it's actually you, but it's actually like I would tell people that I have talked to that it's actually you in God. And because I mean, when I first started talking to you, I was thinking that I couldn't do it, but you've helped me. We were practicing interviews for a very long time before I had my official interview, and my paperwork and all that. And coming in here, you were in my classroom and helped me, be what I am today. He did the same thing for Girly, for Juria, and my sister-in-law. And so now we're all here, the three of us. I mean, there are only three of us siblings, and we're now living our American dream because of you. And thank you,
Well,
thank
thank
you,
you.
thank you, thank you
You're
from the
welcome.
bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And Les, thank you for all that you do because, my gosh, Leslie is doing a lot of jobs in her school and outside. It's like a role model. So yeah, you are playing a really important role there in the Filipino community. In her school, you have like three, right? You have Abby, and you, and Marissa.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So that's a
ma'am.
school. But then in Helena, they have 15 of them.
Yeah.
So that's 18 right there. And then there's other schools around. So there may be about 25 close by, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus
Yes,
their
ma'am.
family. So you're talking at least 50 plus the kids. So you
Yes.
are growing as a group there, right?
Yes, ma'am. We
Very strong
are.
group. When they get together and send me these pictures of this big picture, I get so happy. I mean, I'm like, I'm always trying to post it or whatever because it makes me so happy to see you guys, getting together for a birthday party or for a church thing, whatever. It just, it makes me feel like a proud parent. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're
You
doing so well,
are.
proud of
I
that.
You are.
love her.
You are definitely,
Yeah,
our
so
mother, our second
well,
mother here
thank you.
in
Yeah. I
America.
feel that, and I really do not take that for granted that, if there's anything at all that you can, I can do at all that would really help. Yeah. It's they learn how to drive in my yard.
Yes. Most of us Filipinos learned how to drive in your yard and with your car.
Yeah. Yeah. Maria even took my car to take her test, but
I know.
I think all of you, it's got your
Yes,
own
I think
vehicle now, right? All
we
of you?
started it. Yeah, we started to learn
Yeah.
in Salem,
Yeah.
a place.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much, man. Thank you for
You're
everything
welcome.
that you do. I mean, I don't know. It's you are doing a lot for us. I mean, from small things to big things, and I just cannot fathom, how blessed we are, because I would always say this in Bisaya, because we always talk here like the rest of the group. I'm like, pagunsa na namin kung wala si Ma'am El.
Oh, you're so
Especially when
sweet.
we
You're
got
so
in
sweet.
here first, we cannot go somewhere without you. We were not able to visit places without you.
Oh,
Try
we went
new
to
things.
Texas. We went to Dallas together. That was fun. Yeah.
And the culture was really shocking. And because you're a Filipino, and at the same time, you were living here for almost 30 years, or more than 30 years, I
More than
guess.
40, 38
More
years
than, yeah. And so I think, being that you've introduced the culture to us, and met us halfway,
now. Yeah.
you know so
Yeah.
I was really happy. So thank you.
You're
And for
welcome.
everybody who's in here, yeah, I just wanted you to know that she's the reason why we're here, the three of us, I and my siblings, and the reasons why most of the Filipinos, especially in the deltas, are living our dreams.
Yeah, they are, and they're doing an amazing job. So it makes me so proud when I hear from administrators that, my gosh, Marlena, I wish I could clone Leslie.
Oh, wait.
Those
But
are
yeah,
the highest compliment, that I could just clone her and put her in every classroom. So those are, and Abby and Marissa, because you are doing so well. So yeah, keep it up, okay? Keep up the great job
thank
that
you,
you're doing.
ma'am, and thank you
Yeah.
so much, everyone. I hope you learned something from me and Kate.
Yes.
And so I think I
Definitely.
want to say bye, because it's a Saturday. But
Have
thank
fun.
you. I'll be here next Zoom meeting, and I'll make sure I'll stay longer.
Thank you. The
Bye,
22nd.
Les.
Yeah, bye. The
Bye,
22nd.
Kate.
Yeah, the
Bye, man. Bye,
22nd. Yeah.
everybody. Thank you.
Eating sushi is so
She's
good.
yeah, she's
Oh
eating
no.
musubi. I was making some sushi last night, so that
So good.
the sushi with spam,
Yeah.
and the spam is flavored tocino. I didn't even know
Oh
they have tocino
wow.
flavored ones. Yeah, it was at the Asian store in Jonesboro, and so I was making it for her because I know it's gonna be late, because I'm doing this
Uh
ready for her. So she just warm it up and eating it and having her three-in-one
huh.
coffee. But yeah,
That's
yeah,
the best.
yeah. All right. Well, I
Bye,
missed you. Come
ma'am.
over, okay?
Yes,
All right.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I
Bye
will.
bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye bye. Yeah. Hi, John and Jaymar. You're next in the square. Thank you again, Leslie. What's your comment on that? Do you have anything to add? Because you're also living your dream over there, right? Tell
Yes.
them about where you are and what are the things that you also learn and add to Leslie's, because you've learned so much also.
Well, actually, one of the activities that I'm doing, since we're talking about culture, it's very important for the my students to teach also the language that we are using.
Mm,
And one of the things that amazed them is that I told them that, you know what, we Filipinos, we have our own terms to show respect. And you can attach them to those English words. For example, if you want to say thank you can say thank you po. So they were amazed, like, we are Filipinos and we have our own ways of how we are going to show respect to others. Because I think most of the American kids, they really wanted to show respect, but they wasn't able to express it.
mhm,
So when I told them about doing the mano
mhm.
and as well as thank you po, now I can hear them in the hallways that whenever they see me, they will say, Mr. Jefferson, kamusta po? So it was
That
so
is so
sweet and I
awesome. Yeah,
keep
it
on
makes
smiling.
that's so happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
You
I
have
and
already
I told them,
you have taught them. It's a cultural exchange. So you have taught them. Yeah.
yes, Doc, because it's actually one of the requirements of the visa sponsor. And that's my experience in high school. And Sir Jmar can also share his experience with the elementary students.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
explain
hi.
you're roommates, right? You explain where you
Yes.
are and then what you're teaching and so on also, please.
Oh yeah, hi everyone. Hi, Dr. Merlina. I'm an elementary teacher here in Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, in Washington Elementary School. The same way with Mr. Jeff. This week, some of my kids are very curious about Philippines, so I also showed to them videos, tourist spots, especially there in Ilocos Norte, where I live. So we have different tourist spots there. That's why I showed to them during our social time
Nice.
in the afternoon before they go home. And yesterday, no, Thursday, some of my kids asked me some words also, just like this. I had a video clip and I taught them how to say good morning in
Nice.
Filipino.
Hmm. Yeah, it's not very clear though, but
Oh,
yeah, it's still not very clear. It's
I'm
just a
not worried.
white spot. But what was the video about?
Greetings,
Ah,
magandang umaga, magandang
mhm.
tanghali, magandang gabi.
Nice.
Those are the things that I taught them regarding greetings. They can also use that one whenever they come in inside my room.
Yeah, very good. That's a bonding. That's a bonding thing. That's when
Yeah.
you're doing with your students, and that's getting to know you because the more they know you, the more they like you, and the more
Mm-hmm.
that they like the teacher, the more they would do for you. Right?
Yeah.
Because they
Yes.
can, they want to please you. So yeah, so forming that positive relationship, I think that's very important. And
Mm-hmm.
you two are doing an amazing job as well. So keep it up. You're 5 hours away from me, so you all can come here sometimes, maybe.
Yes,
Yes,
You're
yes,
yes.
ma'am.
always welcome. Okay, you're always
Yes,
welcome.
ma'am.
Open, yeah. Open.
During the spring break.
That
Yes,
would
Doc.
be
And
cool. You have to
yeah,
let me know because I do not know my spring break
Yeah.
plan. Yeah, my sister
Uh,
is a teacher and a nurse, and they are wanting to do a sister trip somewhere, talk
mm,
about a cruise or something. So if we don't go on a cruise or something like that, then you're welcome to come if I'm home. Okay.
mhm.
'Cause I
yes,
really,
Doc.
I really have not committed yet. I said, that's still more than a month away. So, so I'm gonna commit until closer. But
Yes.
we have to make a decision in order to buy the tickets. I think they reserve tickets already, but we haven't paid yet. They
Yes,
haven't
Doc.
paid.
And I think we are actually talking with Ma'am Mirna about it. And I tell her
Ah,
that if ever we're going to continue visiting Dr. Merlina during the spring break,
mm,
we have to inform her. So
yeah.
we're actually trying to get the plans
Okay.
so that we can actually finalize it. And regarding with our new teachers who are trying to apply in the US, I think one of the school districts here that I've encountered and as well as with Mr. Jmar is they are requiring the interview via video, which is actually a one way, but I think you really have to practice about it. So there's an application like the interview stream. So when you download that one, the questions will just flash and you have to answer it. So if you really would like to try applying in the US and as well as encounter that one, you really have to practice.
Okay.
Most
What is the
especially
app?
with
Is that an app that you do it that they can
We
answer?
need to download.
yes, doc.
What is it? What's it called?
It's interview stream.
What is it?
Interview stream.
Interview stream. One
Yep.
word. Huh?
Yep.
Okay.
So the question will be flashed there and you have to answer. So I think you really have to practice because once it's recorded, that will be sent directly to the school district. And that is their first step in the hiring process before
Very
they
good.
settle for the panel interview. So you really have to ace that one aside from your CVs and as well as your cover letter.
Very good. Yeah, interview stream. John always has really good resources, ideas that you can share with us. Thank you. Interview stream is a good idea, and I would recommend like putting that. If it's a screen, put it right there where your camera is. Put away height there, so it will be like you look like you're looking at the camera, although you're looking at the questions. Because otherwise, you'll be doing this, and your eyes are looking away. So I would put it right there where the camera is, and just pretend like you're just looking up and all that, and then answering. Because I've done that before where I had to actually, there is an app there where it's like teleprompter thing, teleprompt or something. Anyway, so I've done that before. I wrote my own script, but then when I was talking, I just put it right there on top and I was like really reading it, but looks like I'm just talking to you because I have to show that my eyes looking at this camera, right? And so, and it turned out fine. It looks like I'm just naturally talking. So, and I got an interview for that one. It was a consultant job. So I know it worked. I know they liked it because I went to the final interview process, but then at the end, I was the one that said, no, I can't do it because it was a lot of traveling all over the United States, and I really didn't have the time at that time. But that was nice. It was good practice. So yeah. So your high school and elementary, right? So you got the yeah. Do you share things like when you get home? Do you share? Is that something that helps you because you're able to vent out some things? Is that what you do? Tell us what you do when you get home or other things that you do after school.
We do Netflix.
Huh?
We
You do
do
Netflix?
We
Netflix,
usually
watching
watch
Netflix
Netflix,
and
Doc.
having wine.
Yep, to be honest, because it's really important for you to familiarize yourself with listening with the English
Yeah, yeah.
language
Good idea.
because
Yeah,
Sometimes we cannot
yep,
really understand what they're saying because they are talking so fast.
yep.
right.
So
At first,
sometimes,
yeah.
can you please take it slow so that we can understand you? That's what we're telling to our kids sometimes because they are really talking so fast.
Yeah,
So
and if they were like like acting like, oh,
yeah, yeah.
we need to
Yes.
speak in our language. So you start speaking in our language and see what their reaction is.
Yep.
Because then yeah,
We did
I
that.
actually tried that, Doc.
yeah.
And
So
they
when
told me like, Mr. Jefferson, we didn't know that you're Spanish. No, we're not Spanish. I'm a
yeah,
Filipino.
yeah, it's very shocking to them because I've done that on a workshop for ESL teachers. I started talking in my language, and although after Mama was there at that time, and so she came and I invited her for the first time of attending my training, and so because I was using Mom, then I said, Mom, I was talking to her, and the participants were listening to us. I said, oh my goodness, and so then I explained that this is what your students from another country, these are how they're feeling of how how lost you are because you didn't understand. That's exactly what they experience. So as a teacher in America, we need to be more empathetic that this is like a Greek language that they're listening. They don't know. So it makes them become more empathetic because an understanding that you cannot just automatically think that the kids are going to be coming here with English. They don't. I know in Brinkley, for example, I have a weekly contract with them. And so I have noticed that they have a couple of Middle Eastern kids, and they came here with no English at all.
Yep.
So they were like doing some gestures or whatever, but then they were able to find like some app that actually will translate everything, and then they would, yeah. So now that helped a lot. Technology helps a lot, and this been few months, and then like my last visit, which was 2 days ago, I was talking to this girl, that did not speak English before, and I said, your English is doing much better. I was like praising her, and she said, thank you. She understood, and I'm like, having them communicate with their peers. I asked her, do you have a best friend here that you communicate in English? Yeah. And I said, oh, good, because that should help you a lot, because I was able to actually talk like this with her. And that's amazing that they have done that. It was a struggle. Maria teaches English, right? In high
Mhm.
school. And so that was like a struggle for her. Like, what can I do? All this. But because she's also the ESL director in her school now. So she was able to spend the ESL money, that's allotted for students to get that app, you know. And so yeah, so for those that are here, there are always going to be resources. Like for your ESL kids, for example, the federal government will actually specify. I don't know, when I was ESL director, it was like $300 per student, and we have to spend it for them. I had bought like some of the iPads with language thing on it, in order, like, at that
Mhm.
time it was Rosetta Stone. So I had it loaded with Rosetta Stone. So when they came, and then they would have the Rosetta Stone. Now they have Duolingo, they have all kinds of other things that are now available, and it's free.
Yep.
Babbel, Babel is another one, and .com. So yeah, so you can be creative and reach for resources. So if you are not, if you don't know, ask your ESL director, ask your principal. Your principal would always be there to help you, right?
Yes, Doc.
Okay, so
And
before, yeah.
yep, and also, Doc, I really would like to share also one of the questions during the interview is that as a principal, they will ask you like, when I enter your classroom, what will I see?
Okay,
So
call, some,
it's yep.
You
call
will have
somebody,
a
call
walk.
somebody, John, to answer that, and then you share with them what your answer is. You
Give
feel
us a
free to call.
walkthrough.
We'll put them in a
Yeah,
spot.
like for example, give us a walkthrough. What
Walkthrough.
what, what will I see inside the
Yeah,
classroom? Who would
call
like to
some.
volunteer from
Yeah.
from the teachers who are aspiring to
This
go
is
to
an
the yes.
opportunity for
Someone
you
raising
to
hand.
practice your English, guys. Okay, go
Yep.
ahead. Call anyone that raised their
Um,
hand, maybe.
Someone is raising
Mom
hand.
Giselle is actually raising her
Yeah,
hand.
okay,
But
Giselle will answer it well. Go ahead. Go. You want to call
I
her?
I was raising my hand a while ago. It's because of the video interview. I have experience that one, Doc, but I would like to answer that question, Sir John, because we had a tour with our Matatag training, and after the training, somebody asked, I was bragging at one, Doc, because I have learned the answer from you. One of the interviews, yeah. Um, I really volunteered because the question is when you entered, tama ba, Sir John? When you enter the classroom, what would I see inside your classroom? Tama, Sir John, yun yung question. And I have remembered Doc Merlina talking on what are you going to answer on that certain type of question. So I said, oh, I'll be the one to answer that one because I think I know the answer. Then my answer, Doc, is when you get inside my classroom, you will see my pupils in groups, small groups, working with different activities, and me as a teacher walking around, roaming in every group, giving assistance to my pupils' work. Then I told them you would see um, educational noise inside my classroom as we go along with my class. I think
Oh,
that's my answer, Doc.
good job. You did well because you need to have them see. You need to do the five senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you know? All that. So yeah, having the kids doing in even a better a better answer is that give them specific things. For example, they're doing this, and then they are going to present, and then they're so yeah. So if I'm a fly in your wall, then this is what I would see, that this is what's going on, and this is something that's always going to be going on. And so, yeah. So if you just come in the classroom and I just started my lesson, you will see me sharing with my students the objectives or the learning task or whatever for the day, and then I would be explaining a little bit about what we're going to do, and then I would be doing this whatever you said, right, and all the things, and then at the end, if you're in the middle of the lesson, then you will see me being a guide on the side, assistant, like you said, and not a sage on stage, and I'm giving feedback. I'm giving immediate, specific feedback. I'm not just saying very good or good. I'm actually saying, oh, I like the way that you made that connection. I love that you connected that to your real life. Love that. Keep it up. So things like that. So I'm giving specific feedback, and you will see my students interacting with each other whenever they're presenting, the audience actually giving feedback to the presenters, things like that. And at the wrap up, at the end of my lesson, if you came in at the end of my lesson, you will see me wrapping up the lesson, asking the kids what they learned, maybe giving them some exit survey, 3, 2, 1, three things that you learned, two things that you want to share, and one thing that you still have a question on. So they may be doing that. And of course, you're going to see me also going back to my objectives that's on listed on the board, and we're going back and checking it off and say, okay, did we meet these objectives? Okay, which part of these objectives did we not meet? So we can cover that tomorrow. So things like that. Or you can say things like the last 5 minutes that you will see my students writing about the reflection of the lesson that we're going to get to share next time. Things like that. You can show them a beginning, middle, and end part wherever they come in.
yes, Doc.
That's an awesome
I
answer. What do you
actually
think?
created an example of that because for me it's really hard for me to explain and as well as memorize those. So what I decided to create in my classroom activities are divided into different 6 stations. So the first one is when they enter the door, I'm going to give them station 1, and I have there the characters of Inside Out. So I have markers, then they will color the heart of whatever they're feeling right now so that I will have an idea how I will be able to communicate with them. So there is a why question there to practice their English. So whenever I saw them that they are starting the sentence with because, I get back to them and I said, you know what, you can actually improve this one by trying to not start with the because. So that's what I'm doing. Then stations 2 is the review, 3 is the video watching, 4 is the pair programming or the groupings, 5 is the individual activity, and my exit ticket is actually their quiz. So whenever they are inside my classroom, they are learning at their own pace. I don't have to tell them that you should be doing this, you should be in this position. And I have a progress tracker in my screen. So whenever I saw them like, Jmar is now in station 4, I'm going to give them a shout out. And for example, let's all give a warm round of applause to Jmar. He's now leading, he's now on station 4, so that we can encourage the other that, hey, he's in station 4, I have to do this. So that's one
I
of the
love
things that
that.
you can do.
Great
So
idea.
yeah, so it's a great experience. Like at the end of the interview, you can tell your observer that I really would like to thank you for letting me share you the experience that I'm sharing with my students, because that's very important. So you can use that one. And aside from Jmar, I think Mama Maria Lovely is also here, and she's teaching in middle school. So I think there's a lot that she can share
Yeah,
about middle
have it to share
school.
next. That would be cool. Thank you again so much, Jamar and
Yes,
John.
and I
Yeah.
think Jmar will add something.
Oh, yeah. We have different style in elementary, Dr. Merlina, where like when they enter the classroom, I put an envelope there and they will grab their do now. And the same with Mr. Chef, I have this slip also wherein they can also share their emotion. And before they enter my classroom, we will be reading some words because
Mhm.
that's what they need: spelling,
Vocabulary.
reading, vocabulary words. So upon entering my room, they can now get at least one word to use when they are doing the reflection. So
Very
they
good.
will be having their do now for 15 minutes, then we go for reading, and then I will just only have 20 minutes because they told me that I will be like starting a paragraph first. I will read that one, and then they will be having their pairs. They do their work, they read by pairs, and then we will be answering some questions, and then we do the writing. That's it. And then we do the exit tickets, and then the afternoon we do the same in math, just like that.
Very good. I like that sound like you're differentiating, and
Yeah.
sounds like the kids are moving. They're not just
Yeah.
sitting and getting. They
Yeah.
call that sit and get. You don't ever do a sit and
Yes,
get. Sit
in the
and get
afternoon.
sucks.
Yeah. In the afternoon, Dr. Merlina, there will be like in math, they will be going outside and then they will be answering some one question, the white book question that they will be answering. They will be getting it from my envelope again, and then they will go outside by groups. I tried yesterday that I will choose one and then he will pick his members, just like that.
Okay.
Sometimes I need to structure the groupings. Sometimes I give them the freedom to do their own groupings. So
Choice is always good. Yeah.
yeah.
Very good. Now, if in America, of course, you're talking winter here. So you be careful about taking them outside. So you have to
No,
be
no, no,
aware of
no,
the weather.
outside in the hallway,
Oh,
doctor.
okay.
In the hallway.
Okay. The weather. I'm thinking, don't be taking them
No,
whenever it's under,
in the
32.
hallway.
Okay. Yeah. The whole way. And then, of course, you have to to also think about your neighbors. Make sure that you're not too noisy,
Yeah,
right?
that's why we are setting expectations first. Like I give them three expectations. They work silently. They will be group members should be intact. They should not be playing around. And then the third, they should be explaining to every groups
Very good.
after they solve
Very
it.
good. I love that you share those learning expectations so you know what you are expecting for them to do. Because some teachers do not do that and they're just like all over the place. It looks like a zoo, and you don't want that. As administrator, I'm like, oh my gosh, can you believe this? But no, you have to make it, everything that you do is organized, which
Yeah.
means that you're giving the students directions before you have them to do. Sometimes I would say, okay, everybody, especially elementary, everybody freeze. So they have to freeze whatever they're doing. And okay, let me give you the directions before we go. And then I would say after I said, okay, throw out now. You can throw out and then go.
Yeah.
I would say that, especially if they're very noisy, whatever. And then everybody's asking me the same question. Obviously, I didn't do a very good job of explaining something. And instead of answering all these groups same question, I would say, okay, everybody freeze. I need to give you a redirection. Okay, everybody's asking me about this, and this is the answer. Okay, so I want to address this instead of having you the same question to me every time I go to your group, and then throw out. And so my kids are so used to that. They were like, okay, I freeze them. And so at high school, maybe not. They will say, oh, that's very elementary. They would say,
Yes, no.
yeah, you have to
What
be aware of that. Yeah.
Yes, so what I actually do in high school, I make them feel like a celebrity. So during the second meeting after discussing about the norms and the goals, I created like a contract signing with them.
Oh,
So I tell them that now you are in my class, so there will be a contract. But instead of imposing that these are rules and regulation, I highlight in the contract that it says there guidelines in not getting an F in class.
very good. Love that title.
Yep. So they
Yeah.
know that if I didn't follow this, I will get an F. So I
Good
need
job.
to follow. So
Very
you
good.
have
Oh, I love you,
really
John.
to.
You have so much great ideas. Tell them about what you did in the Philippines when you were, all the things that you've done during COVID, because you've done so much.
Yes, Doc. I actually don't have time for myself when I was in the Philippines. So I'm the host of the DepEd virtual in-service training for teachers. So I don't have time for myself by that time. During COVID, I was assigned in the DepEd Central Office. So um and as well as the workload in DepEd, I'm very thankful with DepEd because it makes me like who I am right now. So
Right.
it's very
So we,
easy for me to deal with what
yes.
I'm having right now because of the experience. And
So you're talking about
um
celebrity here. This is a Philippine celebrity teacher here. You are,
yes,
you are.
yes po. And when I arrive in the US, I actually forget that one. So when I arrive here, we are all the same. So we also have teachers from the private schools, and they didn't know anything about it. So if every time that I have a strategy that I can see from TikTok or in Facebook, we are actually talking about it. So whenever we arrive from school, I already know the students of Mr. J. Mar because if
Nice.
he keeps on telling stories like this kid did this one, I know them already. So we usually talk about it, and it's very important that you have someone to talk to when you arrive after
Mentor.
from
That's
school.
right. That's
Yep.
right. Just be careful about FERPA, about privacy. So
Yep.
don't share things that should be private, that should not be shared. Just be careful about that. So that privacy thing and also the health. You should never share any health information
Yep.
about students. So those are the two things that you should remember. Yeah, because you get in big trouble. Big trouble. FERPA. Yeah. Yeah. The FERPA, and I don't remember the name of the one for the health. But anyway, but there are two things that you have to remember. But that's good that you have each other to support, because with me, my husband was the one. I would always come, and I don't know, poor Dwayne, being an engineer, he's not a teacher, but he's such the best listener. Like I would say, oh my gosh, today I'm so frustrated because this one happened or whatever. And usually I don't even say that the name of a kid. I would just say, one boy did this and another girl did this. And do you think that I acted, okay? Did I do it correctly? That this is how I handled it? Especially when I was so new here. I came here, went to school here, finished my education here, got my student teaching here, and then I started working immediately after graduation. So I was this 23-year-old girl that just started, and I was so new in the US. So a lot of times I would, I think my accent was so thick then, but my husband said, well, you're thinking in English because you speak in your dream in English. But still, the things that you are sharing with that, I think that really help, venting and sharing with each other. What other things that you do that also helps you? Like, do you do things together to provide mental health care for
We have
yourselves?
friends.
We have
We have
friends.
friends here.
We have actually the Filipino community here. They are
Nice.
retired nurses. So like for example, this night we will be going to one of the house of our tita, and she is so kind because
She's been helping a lot.
she provided everything, almost everything in our house.
Wow. Yeah, you're so
They
blessed to have that. Doesn't happen very often in every
Yes, though.
community.
And
But
you
yeah.
know what? I never also experienced in the Philippines that the school are giving me groceries twice a month.
Oh,
They give
wow.
us
You have a good
shoes.
school.
So they were
Wow.
so generous. So even if,
Only in
sometimes
high school.
in high school, if
Not
sometimes,
Elementary.
elementary.
yep. And Doc, when I speak about groceries, it's almost everything that you need. So they are
Really?
so generous.
Oh
So
my gosh. So who's
yep.
paying for that? Are the teachers
I
paying
think
for themselves?
I think it's part of the social worker thing in the school. So they provided us meat, bread, milk,
That is
everything,
unique.
canned
Nobody,
goods.
nobody has ever shared that they do that. Oh my gosh. You
Yeah.
have to you have
So
to thank them and really share with them that you're so grateful. I'm sure you're already doing that
yeah,
because that doesn't happen, at all. A lot of time they help you the beginning of the year, but it's not like a twice a month thing. Never. A lot of
yes,
here, the church, if you don't have the Filipino community, your church, church membership would help and all this. So it was one Filipino that she did not have a bed at all. She's been sleeping on the floor. So what I did when her friend shared with me, so I called her superintendent and asked her, do you know that so and so has been sleeping on the floor because she didn't have a bed, because she didn't have a truck, and of course she didn't have the money at that time because she was paying for her debts in the Philippines. And so then I think the superintendent had reached out to the church, and I think they helped her. I don't know. I think that's what happened. But later on, she got a bed. But that was
Yes,
because I was, you have to help others to, when they experience like that. But yours is just the opposite experience. Look like you're being spoiled now.
well, actually, Doc, the one who started with helping the Filipino community is from Texas, right?
Yeah.
Really?
So they are from Texas,
Wow.
and they are just tapping the Filipino communities. Like for example, here in St. Louis, Missouri, all of our winter clothes they provided it.
Yeah,
Wow.
because one teacher tapped that Miss, I don't know,
Miss
the
Helga
yeah,
from
Miss from
Texas.
Texas,
Yeah.
and then that one in Texas tap also the titas here, the retired nurses here
Wow.
in St. Louis, Missouri, and then they work together to help us. They
Yeah.
even visited us when we had our first week
Yeah, first
in
week.
St. Louis,
They
Missouri.
provided us brand new air beds,
Yeah.
winter
Wow.
clothes, everything that we need,
That
including
is
the
so amazing.
groceries.
That is amazing. You'll have to, if you have any openings there, you'll have to share in this group or share with me or post it somewhere in our ITSA group, because you
Actually,
need
they're hiring.
more teachers there, because you're being treated so well. And I would love for more Filipino teachers to come. So feel free to do that. I know you both can help them. Okay. And if another thing you could do even is like give me information of whoever I need to contact, and I'll be glad to share with them, my list of different areas, and
Yeah.
who had shared with me the resume and the cover letter. I could share that, and it has a link to all their information. And if they had a video, they will have a video link as well. So yeah, do something like that, because I know your school system, the St. Louis system, is huge. Like you have, I need to, I guess, research it, where your district, the very main person, the HR person. That's what I usually do, is I would reach out and I would say, hey, if you ever have a need, these are the teachers that I have, and they are, sorted by subject areas. So all you have to do, if you need a high school science teacher, click on this link, and then you see all the science teachers on my list. And then the link already connects to their folder that has everything they've sent me. And that's why, right now I am helping up a lot of people doing the resume and cover letter to make sure it's Americanized, that it sounds
Yes.
like very professional and so on. And I'm actually using Chat GPT, guys. ChatGPT.com is something that I use for the cover letter. I would copy and paste it to Chat GPT, and I would say rewrite professionally. And then if it's
Yes.
too long, I would say rewrite professionally and make it 50% less, or 50. Yeah. So I could say things like that, and it would cover everything, guys. Okay. Of course, you have to always read it and see if it doesn't sound like right, and it needs to sound like you need to change some words there, because this is computer doing it. They're going to use like huge words that we might not normally use. So change those, of course. So if I give it back to you, don't think that you have to do it this way. You have to also personalize it yourself, but at least it sounds very professional. And then for the resume, I always check, like, do you have a picture on top? I think the picture on top, I know it's optional, but to me, for the international teachers, it actually would give you an edge. Do you agree? Gives you an edge because they know what you look like, not just a piece of paper, but you're there with your nice picture. They're staring at them. So they know, oh, that looks like a pleasant teacher. That looks like somebody that could fit in our school, because they could see it speaks 1,000 words, right? And then I look for you. Of course, you only have professional information. Please do not tell us your height, your weight, your parents,
Yes.
don't do that. You married. No, don't do that, please. Just do professional, what your education is, your experience, what subjects you taught, how many years, your degree is very important, because to come here, you need to have at least a master's degree. Or if you don't have your master's degree yet, you're working on it. And then you'll be finished like within a year or something. That would be okay. There are only a few visa sponsors that would actually hire you or let you in with only bachelor's. So I would really recommend that if you only have your bachelor's degree and you're wanting to come, start on your master's. Because a lot of masters are now online, right? And so starting a master's, special ed is a really big one here. So if you already have a regular ed, you don't do another regular ed master's, do a different area. Right? Because special ed, you have inclusion in the Philippines. So you have experience working with special ed students already in the classroom, just because they're already here mainstream in your classroom, right? And so do that, because And then the other thing that's missing on the resume is like extracurricular. Put that little bullet there of extracurricular. And also the one that's always missing with a lot of them are the three references on the bottom of your resume. You will never get an interview. It doesn't matter how good your resume is or cover letter if you don't have the three references on the bottom, because your three references need to include at least two administrators, your principal, and maybe a supervisor plus a colleague. Okay, so a lot in Arkansas now are requiring two administrators. Used to be just like one. Now they're actually doing two. So they will contact them with an email, sending them a survey of what your survey of what kind of teacher you are. You organized? Are you, what kind of classroom management do you have? Are you very good at communicating with colleagues, or how do you deal with administrators? There's like 10 different questions usually. When people put me as one of the references, I always get those emails, so I know what the questions are. Like Giselle, Giselle, I've answered so many of yours. But anyway, so I would always like write a comment or whatever about you, because I know Giselle, for example. Giselle had attended my Zoom for like years now. And so at first she wasn't ready because she had a small baby, but now she's ready to come. And so things like that would work, right? Do you think that the resume information need to have that, right? And you awards if you have any, but don't put, what, another thing that I noticed is that they do not, some of them do not stay with 1 or 2 pages. 1 page is perfect, but sometimes you may need 2 pages, and that's okay. But try to stay with 1 page. I think, because I have HR friends that they said, oh, we really like the 1 pager, but sometimes you just have so much things that you have to put 2 pages. But please do not tell them like I'm teaching at this school, grade 3, from this year to this year, and then they put the task that they did, like 7 bullets under there. We know what a third grade teacher, does. You don't have to tell us that. You can tell us the name of the school maybe, and then the years that you taught and what grade. You don't have to do bullets under there unless there's something special that you really do that you do not do normally. The teachers do not do normally. Otherwise, you just list them in bullets. Do not put sub bullets under there, right? Because I see this, I'm like, oh my gosh, 5 or 6 bullets under each one. And this teacher had worked at 6 different schools. And then so you have 30 bullets there under that. And that
Yes,
makes
Doc.
that makes the resume so long. And
Yes, Doc.
that's not a need for that, right?
And we also learned during our application process before we arrive here. It's important for you to go through the website of the school that you are applying for. Look at their mission vision. You must align them with your goals as a teacher, so that when they interview you, they will see the alignment.
Yes, perfect.
Yep.
That's a really good advice, because LinkedIn, that's what they do with advice for the LinkedIn. But so which means that you have to customize your cover letter and your resume to match what the some of the keywords from their mission and vision. You need to include it there. A lot of you had philosophy or summary about you. You need to include those in put a sentence or two that reflect their goals, their mission and vision, because that's gonna be, because everybody would know their mission and vision. So when they're looking for somebody to interview, they're gonna be like, oh, look at this match our, what we want in our school. So that's one of the best advice there, John. Yeah, to do that. I've always done that, but I never thought about sharing it with others. That when I applied, I always did that. I always look at the mission and vision, and I always made sure that in my cover letter and my resume, it reflected what they wanted. In fact, that's what they said. If they have a list of things that you need to have, you need to include those, because a lot of the HR people are actually doing like highlighting the ones that met their bullets, and so they will be able to highlight it. And if you're using AI now, a lot of the big companies and big organizations are now using AI to check. So if you take their wanted information, what they want in a teacher, copy and paste it on a chat GPT, and then you need to ask the computer, the AI, to write a cover letter with this information in there, and also include, and I also include 3 different characteristics of yourselves, passionate, whatever, so you put those little information that you wanted included. You can even put your regular information from Dr. Merlina McCullough to this school, whatever. And then, so you can do that. But then if you take if you cut and pasted their information or their mission and vision, and you need to say to AI that include this, information, keywords from this mission and vision, on your cover letter, you can say anything. If it's too long, you cut him out. Or it's too short, add 100%. Make this 100% longer. So it's really amazing now that what you can do, right? So good advice there. Very good advice, John. Yeah. So who gave you this advice? Your
I actually
sponsor?
learned it from you, Doc.
Who did I? I don't
And
remember
you know
that.
what, Doc? This is actually out of the context, just another story. I'm so amazed because you know what? Victoria's Secret in the Philippines is so expensive, but you can buy it here for less than $5, and sometimes it's sale. So go apply now. It's so cheap here
That's
comparing the
motivational.
Philippines.
That's motivational, John. Like, okay, yeah, I want to come there. Yeah, you're right because yeah, I know where's I know where's mine. I was just thinking about shopping today. But anyway, and you can do this online, right? They just send it to you anything that you want, like Amazon. I don't want to feel like going to Walmart, so you order it on Amazon. The next day it's there, right? And so lots of convenience here. But of course, you also have to make sure that you save money. Because you could get really overboard. Like you could really get addicted to shopping, and then you don't have any money. So just remember that. But John, looks like you like Victoria's Secret, huh? For your wife?
Yes, Doc, because I actually brought them to Galleria. So we went to Bath and Body Works and as well as to Victoria's Secret. And I told them like we cannot buy this in the Philippines, but here it's so cheap.
Yeah,
And you know what?
do you know that they're cousin, they're same company? And that the Bath and Body
Ah,
Works is a cheaper version of Victoria's Secret. I did not know that until like, oh, this is kind of similar, but it's really like kind of like a sister company. Yeah.
yes, Doc. And I also observed, Doc, there are no ants or cockroaches or mice here. There are a lot of squirrels, but they don't have ants here and cockroaches because
You're not
it's
living in
there's
a
a lot in
country,
the
that's why.
Philippines.
Are you living in the city? If you live in the country, you see that. And that's why you always
Ah,
need to be clean. And all your my husband is so big on do not leave anything on the sink because you're keep feeding whatever, bugs, whatever. So it's a very big thing to like, clean all the sink, clean all the plates, and then, really put Clorox or whatever, clean up your
yep.
your yeah, your sink. And I put vinegar sometime when I don't have Clorox, and in that way it will kill, whatever. Because if you start having gnats, like I was so bad about having fruits around, like a deal of fruits. And then sometime when they're overripe, then the gnats are coming in. Those are bugs, like they're gnats. And he's so allergic to that. Like, oh my gosh, this is the source of this is why, why the gnats are doing this. And so I have this hallway that separates my main house and the guest house. And that's where I put because it's really cold there right now. That's what I put I put that like a little storage. Like when I did sushi last night for Kate, I put those in there so that it was like a refrigerator there. But anyway, yeah. So
Yes,
so
Doc.
yeah, those are some things that are different, right?
Yes,
So
Doc. And my
America.
our last tip for those teachers who are applying now, because we're in the same position as you are. And we are already 4 months here in the US. So when you decided to apply in US, start eating in Chowking, KFC, Jollibee, because they don't have it here, and we really miss the
Though
taste.
Yeah,
there's
Jollibee and Chowking.
KFC,
Yeah,
but
they're not here, but they're
they are
equivalent.
different.
Like cause Jollibee is like McDonald's. It was just different though because it had the
But
Filipino
they're
taste,
different.
in it.
Yeah.
But although you do go to a big city like like Houston and Dallas, they have those. They have Jollibee. So you just have to drive a little bit and you can find it. You can go ask Siri, what locate the nearest Jollibee. You
I
know,
think the nearest to us is
Jollibee
actually
near you.
Chicago, Doc.
Chicago is how many hours from you?
Five?
Five
Five
hours.
hours too?
Five
Five
hours.
hours drive. Yeah.
It's like me, 5 hours from everywhere. 3 hours from every airport surrounding. 3 hours from Memphis, 3 hours from Little Rock, 3 hours from Branson, Springfield, Missouri. So those are some choices that I usually do when I'm shopping for tickets. But Memphis is usually the cheapest because for Little Rock, for example, it's a simpler airport, but you have to pay extra because from Memphis, they have to fly another flight to go to the Little Rock. So that means
Yeah.
that you can always get it cheaper from Memphis, although it's a complicated mess. One time I was in the airport and I forgot to remember where I was parked. Oh my God, there's so many layer levels of parking. And here I am with my little control and making everywhere and making it sound like a signal, the alarm signal. Okay, I went to the first floor. Okay, that was maybe second floor. And I did that. Finally, I found it in the fourth floor. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But now with Siri, it actually will have with you, it will actually have a thing for you where you're parked. And that really helped me a lot. So obviously I was not the only one that did that because they added that feature.
Eh,
Yeah. So
I
what
can see,
other
Doc,
American
that
things that you noticed? Because I know that the shopping is different. What other things did you notice?
do not convert. Whenever you buy
So
something, do
expensive.
not convert in the Philippines. Like for example, Doc, I had a haircut, and to be
Haircut is
honest,
very expensive.
I'm not satisfied with the haircut. And when we are paying it, it's $30. And I said, I paid 1,500 pesos for this. In the Philippines, this is only 50 pesos. So do not
It's
convert.
$1. Yeah.
Those are actually the things that we are talking with Ma'am Mirna. I can see her. She's laughing. So those are the things. Do not convert. But one thing that I value the most is the time. So when they say that they're going to meet you at 9 a.m., you have to be there at exactly 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Because
Or before. Yeah, because
yes,
yeah, some of the saying like if you're here on time, you're already late.
and they
Because
are saying,
Americans are
they are
already
telling
like
us, Doc,
20,
like
30 minutes early. Yeah.
they are telling, are you Filipinos? Then we are telling, yes, we are Filipinos. Then they are telling us, we are expecting for you to be Filipino time. You should be late. And we're telling them, no, we're not actually that kind. And
Yeah, it's
you know what?
Latino and Filipino. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Filipino time is now, if it says Filipino time, if you're going to meet at 8 a.m., you have to leave your house at 6 a.m. because you're going to travel for 2 hours traffic in the Philippines, but there's no traffic here. That's
Yeah,
why we're
you
not
go
late.
straight. Yeah, you're not late. But like with me, for example, my I was late today because my alarm was on off because I was zooming or talking to someone, so I forgot to turn it on again. So it was there alarming me, but I didn't hear it, and then it was dead because the charger that I had was, I guess, did not work, and so it's like I can't even see anything on my phone. So that's why I said I felt so bad that I was late. But that's continue to be a struggle for me, that it's either the technology is not helping, and because I really trust with technology. Some people would do 2 or 3 alarms. I only do one. And I told my husband, like, you have to wake me up at this time because I have a Zoom tomorrow. Of course he forgot. He was already, yeah, so he forgot. So anyway, but it's my accountability that I should always remember that. So I shared before that when we first got married, because being American, he would be wanting to leave like really early. So I a lot of times would carry my makeup bag with me in the car and putting my makeup in there. Sometimes my shoes and my socks. Boom. Let's go to the garage. And then I would be in the car. She's driving. So I'm over there doing my makeup and whatever. And putting my shoes on because he cannot stand being late
Yes, so
at all.
and
Yeah.
also, Doc, we observe here, like if they are calling for a meeting, because in the Philippines, if we have a meeting, before you call the superintendent or anyone, you're going to say all the adjectives that you can say. Here
Mhm.
in the US, no, they're just
Yeah.
okay. We
Spontaneous.
have here Dr. Cobb, then
Yeah.
start with the meeting.
Yeah.
So when I arrive at the meeting at exactly 2:45, around 2:55, the meeting is over.
Yeah. It's very short. Just a short like checking in meeting.
And
Yeah.
they will never make you feel like I'm the principal. You have to see me like this.
No,
No, they will
never.
ask you, how are you doing? How's your classroom?
Mhm.
Are
Yeah.
you okay?
Yeah.
Have you eaten your lunch? So they are so caring to the teachers, and
Yeah.
I'm so touched with those expressions.
Servant leaders. There are a bunch of servant leaders. You're gonna find some authoritative leaders that like think I'm the boss. I'm like this. I put me on a pedestal, but that's very rare. That's very rare. I know some of our Filipino teachers experiencing administrators like that, and they are miserable. Some of them go as bad as grading their lesson plans. Never heard of that. That's new. But of course, a principal that's new. We always, I mean, when I was new as an administrator, I made a lot of mistakes. And that might be something that this principal would reflect later. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this on my first year of being an administrator. It's just a learning thing, but sadly, your teachers would experience that with you. And just like us when we first started teaching, and I want to go back to my first 3 years of teaching and apologize to the students why I did this. Why was I so strict on this? Why did I do this? Whatever. Because I still had the Filipino thinking that I have to be in control. I have to do this. Instead of like, I give choices to my students. You're very important to me. And I actually would, teach you, I mean, would see you as somebody that's really, gonna teach me too, that I'm not just the source of knowledge. My students also have lots of knowledge that they could impart with me that I'm going to learn from them. You're not too proud to like, oh, I'm the teacher, so I should be giving all the information. No, especially with this technology, you'll be surprised about topics that your students know more than you. They know a lot more, and they would share with me, and I was, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that. Oh my gosh. So, and they get so happy whenever they're teaching you something. And you should be grateful for those knowledge that they would share with you, and make your classroom safe enough that the students are free to share that. Of course, I warn them, like, let's stay on topic. I know, but if they say something that's like,
I'm a little off, but then I try to find a connection. Oh, that connects to our lesson because, I would do that. I would connect it because, or if it's really off, I would say, "Hey, can we talk about that? Like, stay a little bit before when everybody leaves because I want you to share that with me." So I want to know that I don't shut down their ideas. It might be something that they really need to get out of their chest, that they need to share it with someone. And I don't want to be, the person that they chose to share and I ignore them or I neglected that. So that's why I have this back burner jar in my room. It's just a simple jar with a little lid on top that I made like a little, looks like, like a piggy bank, thing, that big hole. And then they put the sheet, I put a little fourth sheets of paper, that we recycled. So there's writing on the back and they write down their anything that bothering them that I have to take care of. That's why it has to be in the back burner. So when they're doing independent work, everybody's doing something, I would open my back burner jars and I would read it like, oh, my grandma died yesterday. I'm really sad. So I want to know that, oh, I would whisper, like, so sorry about your loss. I hope are you okay? Is there something that I can do to help you? And our secretary in the classroom would make a giant card signed by everybody, in order to give this child, because they gave it to me in the information from the info from the jar. So the back burner jar, whatever you want to call it, it could be, Dr., Mr. Sevilla's jar, whatever you want to call it, or creative names for it. But the way for them to express what they're thinking to you. And that gives you much more bonding with your students. They know you and they trust you. And another thing was my three-way communication notebook that they write every single day. The last 10 minutes before we go home, they would write their reflection notebook. We call them our daily communication notebook, 10, 15 minutes. And then they tell me about their day, what are the things that bother them, what make them happy. So what are things that, that about home, at first I structured it where it was, and later on it became a free writing. They can just write anything there. But the very first part of the year, I actually would structure. The first paragraph, you do this about your day. The second paragraph, you do this, whatever. But later on, it became like tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel. Anything that you want to address, because you have to remember, I will read this unless you fold it in half in the middle and you don't want anybody to read it. And I would respect that. You just want to vent on paper and you fold that. I will not open it. And I did not open it. See, I told my students I will not open it. I did not open it. And so then you tell your parents too that, because at night they will have to stamp it or you put signature on it. They need to, that's private, mom. That's private, dad. And so of course during parent teacher conference or my communication with them, I would say to the parents, this is what we do when it's folded. That means that your child just want to vent, just want to put that in writing. Because one of the strategies to get it off your chest is to write it. You write it down and you throw it away, or write it down and keep it, whatever. So that works. Anything that would work for you in your classroom, do it. But to me, those back burner jar and the communication notebook are the two most powerful tools I have ever used to know my students. Because I got to know like who they're having a crush with, so you, and so even in fourth grade, we're like, oh my gosh, I really like so and so. And I'm like, every time that this child will write, it's always about so and so. So during grouping, I would like, okay, Lini, sit with so and so that they get to know each other, whatever, Or I would say, I would like find a way for them to know each other possibly. And I must have been successful because two of my fourth grade students married each other. like and when I saw them later as an adult, I'm like, do you know that so and so was writing about you in their communication notebook? I said, yeah, you shared that with me. like, so if some of them would actually keep those, they would see that they wrote about each other. This there's two kids are like had a crush on each other. For obviously for years, because after they graduate high school, they got married. And so they continue to have that. Anyway, you don't want to be a matchmaker, but still, who will get along with that child, with that person. So if you're going to do a pairing thing, this person, especially if a child that's hard to get along with, a person that would get along with this child because this child really likes that person. Something like that. It's not really a love thing because they're too young, but it's more of like who can work with that person successfully. So you use those information, but those are just two. If you ever do that, you will be amazed at how much you know about your kids. Knowledge of students, remember, knowledge of students, knowledge of content. Those are two important things. Anyway, so thank you so much. Those two, by the way, these two are really amazing at interviews, because I've actually listened to some of their interviews where I was invited by the school to be part of it. Oh my gosh, I'm like, oh my God, they did so well on the interviews, like how you give examples and how you really made it your own. And that's what I keep saying. Do not be visiting with a person interviewing you, just like you're talking to me right now. If you are doing that in your interview, you had a good interview. Not just like so formal, like what did you do? You know, you did. That's really not good. But if you're just like visit, oh, you interact like that, like you are friends. You had a good interview, and you know that that principal or the superintendent or the HR person or the team of people, that they feel comfortable with you, that they don't even have to worry about what, oh, you answered all that question already. They would say that because you're visiting. Yeah, and I have done so many interviews, like I was being interviewed and I'm like over there just visiting with them, and they say, oh my gosh, Merlina, you already check off all these things. Because we visited naturally. So I would ask question and I would like answer it, and like, how about you? How about in your school? What do you do here? Whatever. No, I would actually be having this conversation like that. Sometimes you don't have the luxury because they have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes slot for you. So sometimes you don't have it in. What you find is in a small school, they will have more time for you. But in a bigger school, they would have like they're so structured about so many minutes per interview. So you really have to be concise and just answer their question. But how you can do that personalization is in your example. So in my classroom, I do this is what I do. So if they're asking you about unmotivated child, oh, I remember, I have a student named John, and this is the problem, and this is how I solved it, and then show how you answered it through your example. That's how you make it personal you know and so anyway, not just like, oh, an answer like generic there that anybody could just stand in there and that's their answer. It has to be John's answer, it has to be Mar's answer, because you gave them specific things that happen in your classroom. So once you do that, you have a very good interview. And as a former principal, yes, I would love that. When somebody tells me, then I have a picture of this teacher being in my school, because this teacher is this kind of teacher. Obviously this teacher is caring, obviously this teacher is knowledgeable, passionate. These adjectives will come to my mind, and these are things that I want in my school. So you want that person to check off. You have to be the right person in the right seat in the bus, the right fit in their school. Yeah. Okay, so who do you want to call next? Because you did an excellent job of sharing. So who do you want to call? Any of the 13 who's here
Oh, I'm gonna
to
call
share?
Ma'am Mirna.
I'm a
Ma'am Mirna
Myrna.
is here.
Yeah, my Myrna. Hi, Myrna.
Hi,
Where's
ma'am.
Myrna? I had
I'm here.
somebody that was complimenting you, like Lee County has the best teacher, the Filipino teacher there, and she is so good, and kids love her. It was somebody from another school, another administrator was telling me about the administrator sharing with him that you are so good. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so awesome. This is Myrna. Her husband is in Brinkley. So I would, when you hear that, it's like, a parent hearing something about their child, a peer, a colleague, that they're bragging on you. And that's how I felt. I was so proud. I told Joel, oh my God, your wife had a very good brag from someone. He may have told you that, but that's so good to make that good reputation. That you are
I
so
know.
good, you're passionate, you know your stuff, you know your content. Yeah.
Ask me who the teacher, whom, I mean, from whom did I get it?
Yeah, I bet your principal or somebody that had watched
No,
you.
but no, I got it also from you, Doc Marlena. Doc Marlena, I
Well,
got it
thank
also
you.
from
You,
because
you're
exposed. Yeah, I'm exposed to a Philippine setup and then to for 19 years in other country, but just the same. Again, coming to USA, we're going back to zero, and then I'm really thankful and I'm flattered. Thank you for that appreciation because I thought that really I am the most hated teacher every time I give quiz because you know what, when I give quiz I have two sets, A and B, so I would
Mhm.
know.
They cannot
So
copy
I
off
would
of each other.
know. Yes, and because as we teachers, when we teach, we are expected to internalize our lesson, and I also want my students really to at least internalize the lesson for better understanding.
Yeah, and have
Yeah.
that connection, yeah, to the real lives. Good
Yes,
one, good
yes,
one.
yes.
And I love the A and B, because with technology now, that's why some schools, and actually in the governor is now trying to see, where no cell phones in school, because the cell phone, some of them would take pictures of the test and then they would pass it to the the next group, because if you have the same test, whatever. But
Yes,
other things. But on the other side, I'm also for using technology in the classroom. If a teacher would use it for apps like Kahoot, or using it for poll everywhere, things like that, for instructional purposes, I'm for that. When you're using your jeopardylabs.com, and you're using that, I am for that. blue kit, all those things,
Yeah.
because you're using technology as part of the instruction. But of course, they have to be
Yeah.
a good balance, because a lot of times
Yeah.
kids are going to be using it for other things, not just instructional. So it
Yeah.
made the schools have to really be strict about it. Like in Brinkley, they used to have like a little basket. The moment they come in the classroom, they drop their phone in the basket. And then the teacher would put it on top of her desk, and she would be teaching. And at the end of the day, at the end of the period, she would have the basket out, and they would just grab their phone out. And some of them would be like trying to hide their phone somewhere. Maria is so good. I'm like, you have your phone. Where's your phone? Because, all of them would have phones. But some of them, oh, I left it in my locker. Yeah, right. But I think they have an organizational thing now that they cannot
Yeah.
open. They have that fancy thing now. But I did not see it. I forgot to check on it this week when I visited. But do you have that in your school where they have like
Yes,
a thing now?
yes. They have this pouch, and
Uh-huh.
they are
Ouch.
expected to have it in a pouch. But and then we have the sensor that will detect if they have the mobile phone with them. But students really are so wise; they know how to keep it. But just the same, sometimes they will get mad at me. They will say, "Miss Mirna, your eyes are so powerful," because I know. Because when I thought that I could sense that somebody's using the phone, I will turn off the light so I could see if the phone is on.
You're so funny. Yeah, yeah. And they would be so good at texting
Yes,
that I
yes,
remembered when I
yes.
was teaching high school,
Mhm.
they would have their jacket on because it's winter, right? And they would put their phone in the pocket. And here they are texting in their pocket. They are so good at texting that they don't have to look at
Yeah.
it. And they're texting. So
Uh-huh.
I get to be, I was 11th grade teacher, and I'm like, okay, everyone, I want you to put your hands on your desk. I want to see them. I don't want to see them
Mhm.
texting, because this is important. What we're doing right now, it's so important. I really need to see those hands up. I was strict like that, but like, of course, I also show them that we can use this phone for as a friend for school.
Yes.
Let's use this for this app. Whatever. But yeah, schools are responsible for their own technology plan and technology policy. So some schools are more strict than others. Some schools would
Yes.
just be saying you can do it, but you have to leave it off, and you have to leave it in your locker or in your pocket, and it cannot be on. It has to be off.
Mm.
So different people are doing it differently. And so even with the new law, if it gets enforced, it's still going to be with the school district on how they're going to enforce it. So yeah.
Yeah.
So so
And then
so
once confiscated in our school, once the phone is confiscated, it goes to the office directly, and the parents will be the one to drop by and claim get the phone.
Yeah, that's a big thing
Yeah.
for the students, because like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my phone because I got in trouble again. They have to pick it up.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
like their parents to be the one picking it up. And that's one of the schools that I worked in. That's what they did. Like the first time
Mhm.
you will be, you'll be forgiven with a right, whatever, you call to the parents. The second time your parent had to pick it up, and so that kind of deters some of them, because they don't want to lose that phone at home,
Yeah.
right?
With the use of
So
technology, even our students are not allowed to use mobile phone. They do have their Chromebook, so they still have the chance. And
yeah.
if I am not mistaken, at least I think in our school they already blocked YouTube.
Oh,
So
okay.
the student,
Yeah.
yes, the YouTube is no longer allowed in the Chromebook of the students.
Oh, okay. And the Guardian app too would show you what everybody's
Yes,
doing. So that's cool.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You use that, a
Yes,
Guardian app. Yeah. And most
Yeah.
teachers would actually show the screen with everybody's where everybody is, and you can see exactly where students are. If they're supposed to be on iReady, all the screen better be on iReady. It will show up when you are in somewhere else,
Mhm.
right?
yes,
So yeah.
yes, yes.
So any tip that you want to share, because it's already get
Ah,
past our limit. I was
for
wanting to
our
stop.
aspiring teachers, yes, I think we're used to using the PowerPoint, but just an experience. The other day, I mean, yesterday, was having my discussion, and a student said, "As Miss Mira, can I ask you a question? This is not related to a lesson, but we are just wondering, when do you win, and how do you prepare your PowerPoint? Because since I came here, never a day that I did not have a PowerPoint. They always have my PowerPoint with a hyperlink to the videos that I am using."
Mm,
And so since then they were wondering, when else does she prepare this? How else does she prepare it? So students are very also of those,
yeah, but
because when you come to classroom unprepared with no PowerPoint, it's just like you don't bring any bullet with you.
But at the same time, Myrna, you also need to sometimes do it without PowerPoint. Like you may have,
Yeah,
because your
yes,
science,
yes,
your
yes,
experiment
yes.
stuff, they come in with your
No,
experiment ready already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, doc. I just have my, but just the same, even if I have my experiment, I had my instruction. I already have discussed the instruction, the step by step procedure. I had it on their paper, but still I have it on the screen, just in
Yeah.
case they'll say, "Miss Mary, have to do it again." Go back to the screen.
Yeah. You're
But
visual.
but
You're visual students. Yeah. Yeah. You're addressing
yes,
that need, but at the same time, surprise them sometimes with no PowerPoint.
yes. Oh, with the PowerPoint. And then when with this experience also, because in my plan I taught the students they will do the mural. So I was expecting, okay, mural. And then here comes the student, Miss Mirna, I would really very honest to you. I am not good in art. So how am I going to do? I will fail. And I said, okay, you're not good in arts, but you're good in singing, right? Can you not compose a jingle about the ecosystem? And then he
Job.
started doing it. So
Good
others
job.
did it in the form of a poem. But Miss Min, how are you going to grade it? Don't worry. I know. You have the same objective, you have the same goal. And then at the
Content.
end of the day, Miss Min, what's my grade? What's my grade? And
Yeah.
excited to present it.
I love that you're using multiple intelligences. And of course, think about apps too. There's some apps there that you
Mm.
might not be good at this, but then you can use an app,
Mm.
whatever that you could use. But yeah. So good thing. And Gamma, that app, GAMMA, that app is the
Uh-huh.
best app to use to make PowerPoint because it's like an AI, right? So you just say create a presentation using this and this and this, and then you put 14 slides or whatever it is, and then it will just boom, 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 like within 1 minute, maybe
Oh,
2 minutes, done.
it's gamma that.
Gamma, that app. You see my
Okay, that.
Itza, you see my Itza. I have lots of PowerPoint
Yes.
presentation and I
Oh,
put
okay,
the
okay.
AI pictures in there. That's Gamma, that app. And after I get the
Okay, I'll
Gamma,
try that.
that app, then I share it into make it a PowerPoint. And then that PowerPoint I put in Canva. And that's when
Okay.
after Canva, then I will get the link from Canva. Then I would put it on the FB or the YouTube.
Mm.
So that's what I do. So Gamma, and or sometimes I would do Chat GPT first, and then I put it,
Mm.
I copy and paste it to Gamma, that app, and then Canva. So I'm using three different ones, but you can go
Good,
straight
good.
to Gamma, that app, because it's also AI. And then
Okay.
yeah, and just you tell it exactly. Use a PowerPoint with
Mm.
14 slides sometimes, and whatever, or you say sometimes it's just a topic. I would say create a PowerPoint with this topic and provide pros and cons, tips,
Mm.
suggestions related to society, education, whatever. No, I would say things like that, and then boom, 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 it will make the
Oh,
the
that sounds
information.
good. That sounds
And
good.
yeah, and you go to continue and you choose a theme and you say generate, and boom, it
Mm.
generates. Boom, boom, boom. It's so neat to do that. It has pictures and
Mm.
everything. So I
Mm.
personalize it by putting my AI, pictures, so that it's not just them. Actually personalize it with something, to make it look like mine. But
Mm.
but it's AI, you know. So Gamma, that app, if you've not tried it, everyone, you need to try it. It's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you
And you
again,
can,
Myrna. Let's see who else. Who do you want to call,
thank you,
Myrna? Call
Doc.
someone.
Mom Lovely, I think, is here. Mom
Okay.
Lovely, is she
Lovely.
still here? Yeah, she's here. She's here.
Okay.
Hello, Doc. Good
Okay.
morning. Good
Hey, good
evening.
morning. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine, Doc.
Did you lose
Still,
some
but
weight? You look
still,
like you've lost some weight. You're so little.
no, Doc. Still
Oh,
sa camera with my camera.
you had a good
But
angle.
Doc,
I need to learn
yeah.
that.
But yeah, um, I'm so glad to say that I was able to survive. So yeah,
Well, how many months are you now in
but
the US? How many months are you now here?
um 4 months, Doc. 4 months.
Okay. So what were the
Yeah.
struggles and the challenges that you had to face and you overcame, obviously?
Okay. So basically, teaching in middle school was really, really tough. Like your, you have to have your long patience,
Patience,
and
uh-huh.
then you really need to have the strong personality, because these kids in middle school are really, really hard to get in. But like it's like they're really playful, knowing that in my case, Doc, I'm teaching sixth graders social studies. So there were like still like thinking about they're still in elementary. They're so playful. And but I'm so lucky to have my co-teacher in our classroom. She's a local. we are really having this fun teamwork, working together with our kids, teaching social studies. And yeah, I was I am fortunate having her as my teaching experience here in St. Louis, Missouri, because yeah, teaching middle school is really tough. Like I was thinking like, why did I chose teaching in middle school? Because during my interview, the school principal asked me if what are do you prefer to teach, like if you want high school or middle school? Then I don't know why. I was reflecting and thinking about my decision during that time when I directly answered, I want middle school. But anyways, this is I was really destined to teach these middle schoolers. But yeah, this is that just like what they say, it's God's plan. So I am really, of course, happy to have this experience teaching here in the USA, doc. Yeah,
It sounds like you're adjusting a lot. That's good. And then having the
yeah,
resources that you have, using them, it's really a good idea.
mm-hmm,
And you're tough, girl. So I'm
exactly.
so glad that you survived, right?
Yeah, but you really need to, like every day I'm doing before going to school or before starting our first period class, I was really me and my co-teacher playing like we are like playing a godly songs while waiting for our kids or waiting for our students to be in our classroom. Like we are praying together like that and preparing for the day,
I
the whole day
praying
class
together.
with them.
Are you in a private school?
No, no, no,
Oh,
no,
be
doc.
careful
We're
about praying
actually
together. Hi, be careful about praying
no,
together.
no. It's like we're just saying this like we're doing like we can do this. Of hopefully God will provide protect us in this day. Like it's not like it's like not an issue, dog. Actually, we're aware of our different religions. Actually, told her that I am a Catholic and she is a Christian. But luckily, and I was so happy that we are having this good relationship, knowing that we are coming from different culture. And yeah, so that's it, doc. And we are really looking forward for positive experience with our students like every day. And then after the last period we were like, okay, we survived and we are like doing like yeah, we are,
Like,
yes,
yeah,
we
yeah,
we
yeah, good. You're
survived.
celebrating.
Yeah, and
Celebration
that's
is really important. Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's really important to have a good relationship with your co-teacher and other staff in the building because it really matters, doc. It
Mhm.
really matters because it's really hard. Like if you are just alone in and no one will assist you, something like that. Especially
Because
if you are
you don't feel
having
comfortable yet. Yeah, yeah,
exactly
yeah.
no. So when like um those teachers are who are aspiring to be here in the US, you really need to establish that positive relationship with your colleagues
Colleagues.
because
Yeah.
it really matters and it will really help you a lot in terms of preparing yourselves, teaching the students, and although there are ups and downs sometimes, like
Hmm.
I do experience that when because these students, these sixth graders it's like a weather. They're unpredictable,
Right,
really.
right. What?
They're really unpredictable.
Yeah. Well, the that's a very good tip because I like when I was teaching, I always brought food with me, adobo and noodles from my mom. My mom lived with me for 14 years to help me babysit, right? And so she was such a good cook because we had food service business in the Philippines. So my mom would send me some food to share with my colleagues. So I would put it in the lounge and I would just put a sign,
Oh,
hey, this is free to everyone. This my mom did this, whatever. Please put it in the refrigerator when
uh,
you get done. So anyway, so I would put a note there. Later on, they loved my mom's food so much that they start ordering every Friday. They would order from the things that I have shared. But yeah, making that a connection and sharing
Mhm.
your culture through food or through whatever talent, whatever it is that you have, and getting to know them because they want to know you. And you're gonna have to
Exactly.
expect that there's some people always in this world that's gonna hate you and love you. Some of them may hate you
Yeah.
and hate you silently. They would not say anything, but there are some that are resenting. Some of them would say, why do they have to get somebody from international from the Philippines when we have some local people here that they could
Mhm.
hire? Why do they have to bring people here? There are some people that are called ethnocentric. That means
Mhm.
in their mind, their culture had to be the center,
Exactly.
the ethnicity, so ethnocentric folks, and you cannot help that. That's them. And so you can win them over by showing them that, hey, I'm just a person like you. I learned from you, you learn from me, but I'm not really that bad of a person. And you win them over. A lot of times you win them over. I still hear things like, oh, do you know, Miss McCullough, that teacher really doesn't like having Filipinos here? And I go an extra step or two in order to make sure that teacher likes me, so that then eventually they would really like the teacher too, because they get to know, because I would share things. In the Philippines, that's why this teacher does this, because in the Philippines this is what we do. So I would actually clarify things for them, because sometimes it's because of misunderstanding or non-understanding. They don't know. So they don't know what they don't know either. So when they don't know, they just some of them, if they have a fixed mindset, they don't have a growth mindset, their filter is always negative. So they're gonna think of
Mhm.
everyone or everybody to be there's Erwin just coming in. So they're gonna think of everything negative. So you're gonna have to change that around and have them to think about the positive. So if they start sharing negative things, and I would always say, hey, the other side of the coin, have you thought about this? This is also, and then look at it in a positive way. So I would always make sure that I do listen to what you're saying. I know it's negative, but I want to show you also that on the other side of the coin, this is what's going on. This is also advantageous
Exactly.
because this is also good because children learn this. So I would always see the advantage of it instead of the pros of it, instead of just the cons all the time, right? So obviously you've done a good
Exactly.
job of doing that with your peers. Awesome job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you, Doc. Thank you,
yeah,
Doc.
good
And
job.
I was looking forward to more fun activity experience here in St. Louis, Missouri, Doc.
Sorry.
But yeah,
So are
yeah.
you coming with them if they're
And
coming to see us here? Are you coming with them?
yeah, yeah, during spring break, Doc.
Yeah.
Spring break.
So if you are
Okay,
really
we
going
will
to
talk.
commit to coming, I won't do any commitment with my sisters. You would be my plan. So
Thank
if
you.
you really tell me, for sure I'm there, then I will make sure I'm home. So you need to confirm it with me, okay? Because I have to tell my sisters that
Okay,
I have to
Doc.
be home. I have company coming. But anyway, because we can
Thank you
always
so
have get
much.
together. We see each other many times a year.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you are so important to me that I want to see you in person, y'all, because I
Me
have
too,
this is
Doc.
I call them West Memphis 13. And I told Mr. Kendrick that, hey, this when this teacher from the other states may come here, I may call you and see if you could meet up with us and eat together or something. Yeah, I would love that. That's what he said. And do you know who he asked about? What's Erwin doing?
Sir
Of
Erwin.
all the people, he remembered Erwin. We just saw each other like Thursday, I mean Wednesday night, Erwin.
Me,
Wednesday
Doc.
night. He asked
He's
about you,
asking me.
huh?
He's asking me.
Yes, about you, of all the 13 people. He was asking, how's Erwin doing? Is he doing well? And I'm like, I guess because the video view that I had, your video,
Mhm.
that's the first thing that I saw was that. And that's when, remember, I told you, I said, I want him. I want him, remember? Because I showed the video online that I have used as an example. And so you're the
Mhm.
very first picture of a Filipino teacher's introduction that he saw. And so he remembered you. And I was like, when I talk to Erwin, I have to tell him that that Mr. Kendrick had asked about you. Anyway, Maria, lovely.
Well,
Thanks again for sharing so much. I'm so glad
yes,
you're
Doc.
you're, you're experiencing positive things. And so I'm gonna talk to Erwin now because this is a good segue. Um, yeah. Wait, what? Were you surprised that he was asking about you?
Yeah. I don't expect it actually. I don't know. Um, Maybe yeah, it's because of the video, I think.
Yeah, I think so because I'm telling you, I was in his boardroom, very big boardroom, and he was wanting me to explain to his superintendent about hiring Filipino teachers. And so before the superintendent came, because he had another appointment, so I said, "Let me show you some examples, whatever." And then I went to the ITSA website, and then I showed you a video. And that's when he was like, "Oh my gosh, he's so good, he's so good," and all this. And so that's why he said, "Erwin, how's Erwin doing? Is he doing well in his school? Whatever." So yeah, that's
Yeah.
a had to share him with that he's got a nice apartment and he's really liking it there. And so I was like telling him that. So yeah, so I told him he'll have to come back and be a speaker for us. So because I said you all will always come, so you could at least talk to him again. Yeah, he
Yeah.
said I will do that. Today he's got some funeral to attend, so that's why he's not able to. And he's a single guy, 29-year-old guy. So it was like he has a life possibly, Friday night. So I said, well, you can just come in like later. You don't have to come in like at 7 o'clock in the morning. You can come in closer to 10, when you wake up or whatever. Because most people do
Mm-hmm.
not wake up early on Saturday. That's why I appreciate the teachers that are sharing here and they're already in Arkansas or somewhere else, other states, and you are coming on because you don't have to you don't have to wake up till noon or whatever it is time that you want to wake up on Saturday. That's your rest
Yeah.
day, right? And so
Yeah.
now that I'm retired, I always tell my husband, no, I can wake up at noon if I want to. But you know what? I wake up early. I'm waking up late earlier than what I used to, and sometimes it's because I just haven't slept much because I was watching my K drama or my C drama. And you can after I'm 56 now, so after 50, it seems like you don't need much sleep. So I would joke with my sister like, yeah, sleep is out of style now. Because they feel the same way. They don't sleep very much. Like used to, I was so strict about I have to have my 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Now I'm lucky with 5, 4, 4, and all that. But 3, then I feel like you can see my eye bag now. Because it will show me like, oh my gosh, Merlina, you need to be you're stopping because I have this episode 36 episodes and I'm already on the 34, 33. I have to finish it to see what happens. Or I cannot stop. I'm like, I have to know what happens to the story. Yeah, sometimes that could create some problem with marriages. At least my husband knows now. Yeah, Marlena's addicted to see drama. Okay, drama. But yeah, you have to have a good balance. And see, because we only have one big TV in the living room, so how I compromise is that I have my computer screen like where I'm talking now, and I would just be laying down there with my computer screen on a little stand, and I'll just be watching my own thing, and then he's watching whatever he wants to watch, and then I'm multitasking. So he's always watching like History Channel or like Ancient Aliens, for example, and I would listen to it. And, oh, I did not know that. I would just like talk to him at the same time, but I was also watching my drama. So I multitask and still communicate with him, but I'm really watching my drama too. But at least you're in the same room, right? You're not just like one room and the other one is in another. So that's kind of how we compromise. And I think he understands it now that Merlina really likes those dramas. So but I'm retired. The only time that I would work is when I have consulting job. Like this week, I only had one job. This next week, I have one job. But then the next 4 weeks, I have like 4 day a week job. So I'm loaded before spring break. And then after spring break, I'm so relaxed. I have maybe once a week job so because they want to book the jobs before spring break. They want to be done with their days, whatever days they're given. Most of the schools have grants, and they got grants from the U.S. Department of Education or the State Department of Education, and then they have to spend those money, the PD money, in order to to check that off that it's spent. And so like some schools would book me 12 days, would book me 9 days, and like last time I was booked 30 days in one school. So I have to do so many weeks, 6 weeks for 5 days, so 30 days. But so anyway, so on those things, I have to book somewhere closer. I do not drive 4 hours or 3 hours like where everybody lives. I drive 10 minutes, 1 hour possibly. That one with 30 days, I was only driving 40 minutes. So it's not bad. So I was able to come home every day. But with going to Brinkley and Helena and Barton, where everybody is, I have to like spend the night to come in the day before, spend the night in a hotel, which sometimes I would ask them, hey, come and join me. There's buffet here. Myrna and Joel had done that. Hey, come over here and join me because I have free buffet things. And I'll share that with you. And so the first time that Myrna and Joel came, I invited them. And that's where I think, is that right, Myrna? That's the first time we met each other in person, was in this buffet thing. Is that right? I don't remember if that's true, but anyway, so she might have left. But yeah, so if you all can come this spring break, that would be awesome. I would love that. And we'll plan some things about what to cook and things. So yeah, and we'll do some things here like, horseback riding if you want, and visiting a cave. That's always two big things that people do here. that the cave here is so beautiful that people from all over the world would fly to see this cave. It's like, was 4 millions of years ago, and it's like a big one of this room is like so huge, like a big auditorium, and that is carved by nature. And all this, and it's so neat. I have visited there. It seemed like every time I had company, so I must have visited with the 38 years here. I must have visited more than 20 there, because every time I had exchange students, we would always take them there. Anytime I have company from anywhere, any state, any country, we would take them there. So I know I have done maybe 20, or if it's not 20, it's close to it. So because with the Filipino teachers, I was like, "Hi guys." So some of them came, and some of them have already gone, and some of them didn't. So I said, "Hey, somebody already have gone, so I'll just give you the address. You all go," because I could not go at that time. They just went. And then so bring your, sometimes we bring your own, like, food, or you can eat there. But if you there's a lot of you, like what we ate today was that musubi, musubi thing that I made. And it's like a spam. It's like the seaweed with spam and rice, and we just have a picnic right there, somewhere, and you bring your drink, cooler of drinks. You can do that to save money, because in America anymore, it's like $10 per person when you eat out. Yeah, so that's pretty much what your budget is. But if you go to a fancier restaurant, it's gonna be more than that. Even McDonald's really high now, right? So Erwin, do you have anything that you want to share in math, or anything that you do here there in your school?
Uh,
Big adjustments do you have?
uh, I don't know where to start though, because uh, I think I've been struggling with engagement sometimes, but
Really?
I think my students are well disciplined. They are following my instruction,
Good. So you've
but
done
some
that. Good.
yeah, but we cannot deny that there will be a student inside the class that is really hard headed and do not follow the instruction,
It's always
and we have
10%.
and I have to also roam around from time to time just to check on them if they are working or not, if they can do the
Good.
skills that I want them to earn by that day.
Mhm.
What else? And as a summary, I think sometimes I feel good and sometimes I feel
Yeah,
not.
yeah. So up
I
and down.
feel not satisfied sometimes.
Yeah.
And I always question myself as well if um I did my best, I think,
If you did what?
or my
If
best
Oh,
on
okay.
that day
Well, see,
because
that means you're a reflective teacher. That's a sign of a
yeah,
good teacher, is that you always
yeah,
reflect how I
yeah,
did and how my students did. What can I do differently? And our
mm-hmm,
good teachers do that. They would always reflect on what I can do in
yeah,
order to move my students forward. Or I should have
yeah.
not done this, and all this. Next
Because
year when I do this, I won't do this. Yeah.
and some I believe the curriculum that we have in our school is not the same as the curriculum in other school or other
Really?
district. Yeah, because uh we are using the IM curriculum, the illustrative math curriculum, and we only give examinations, I mean test, every after probably eight topics
Mm,
or in a unit topic, I think. And then we have to run this discussion throughout the days, and after that they will take the test. And
mm,
that test will determine their grade, the summary
mm.
of this.
You can
And we
always do a pop quiz, or a bell ringer, and take a little short grade for that, because in most schools
yeah,
they would
yeah.
provide they would want
So
to do 2 or 3 times grade a week.
what am I doing? What I am doing inside my classroom is to run all the discussions, and then if I still have time before the assessment, I create
Yes.
some exercises, practices, so that they will be prepared for the coming test.
Mhm. Well, those companies like I am, they are based on the Common Core standards, which is the Common
Mm-hmm.
Core math standards. And because they are written for 50 states, right? And most states are actually using Common Core, although they're making it their own. Like ours is called Arkansas State Standards, but if you really look at it, the core of it is actually Common Core. And they're just changing some things. They added some tasks to it. They added some words to it. But really, if you look at it, they might have changed the numbering maybe. But a lot of times when you really compare it to the Common Core, it's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
Um,
Yeah.
aside from classroom management, I think classroom management is not my problem.
So
I think
management, yeah.
classroom engagement
Yeah.
is my um my problem.
Yeah.
And another thing is communication, I think, because I'm not reading most of my emails,
Yeah.
emails of the school, of the
You need to read
administration.
it every
So
day. You need to read it every day,
yes,
morning and
I think I have
afternoon.
to
Yeah.
I think I have to do that.
Yeah.
Make it a practice to read
Yeah.
all the emails from time to time, every
Yeah.
morning and every after.
Yeah, every time I turn my computer, I'm right there at my desk. I always check because there's a lot of things from the administrators. From the administrators' point of view, I cannot stand those teachers that will not check emails because they are the ones that never know what's going on. Would ask me question that I already sent an email in. That's how I know you did not read your email. That really drove me crazy as administrator. So I would like, I want you to check your emails many times a day, because there might be something really important, especially from a parent or whatever that you need to know. So yeah, you might want to change your habit and really add that, Erwin, that you have to check your email, okay?
Yes,
And
doc.
for
Yes, doc.
math though, a lot of times, like Marissa, I have observed her many times, she would do a lot of and she teaches the higher math, geometry and all this in her high school. And in that's the same thing as Leslie's school. And she did a lot of like little pairing thing when they come in. She already had this little sheet of paper where they would do, their pairing activities, and then she would do like little groups, and they present their answers, and then she does a lot of like they work on the board as a team. She would do like she divided her board with so many teams, and then they would go over there and just make it like a competition. And they really like that because they were like, okay, team one, do this, and then tag the next person and so on, and then they would do stuff like that. So with math, you have to be creative from individual little marker board that you have them to do up, or having them work with a partner and things like that. You have to do that because otherwise math is boring.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what I do, doc. I mean, did from the past days, especially when we started the second semester.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I did is to group them and shuffle them into groups, present them as a group, present their work in front of the class,
Mm-hmm.
um, share their works into their
Yes.
previous group to
Mm-hmm.
their new group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always shuffling them because I think the main reason it's because they do not know each other.
Uh-huh.
They came
Big work.
from different sections like arts, English, science, and then when they gather into my classroom, they don't know
They
each
don't know each
other.
other. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's one thing that you could do whenever you start the school year next year is give yourself permission to like have some activities where you get to know them. There's some math about me things. For example, 68. That's the number that my favorite number because that's the year I was born. Or 17 because that's the day I was born. Whatever. So that numbers about yourself. So that means they're telling about themselves, but using math still. 6 because that's the number of kids in our family. So anyway, so they have to like explain the numbers, or you don't have to just say 6 3 times 2. The answer to this, the product of this is, I like this because this is whatever what it represents in their life. So you're making that connection from numbers and then the operations with that numbers, because they cannot just say the numbers. You have to like manipulate those numbers to show operations and then connect it to their lives. Okay. So that's one thing you could do at the beginning of the year. I've done that because that will help them know each other and that would help you know them, right? So you could have I think they can have like a little bingo type thing, and then you can put a little box, you know, a little spot there, or little they can just put a grid of 6 things and they have to put math about themselves. Yeah, you can do stuff like that, and they seem to enjoy it. Because then I have them, okay, who's got 6 also as their favorite number? And then they will do that, and it makes it more interactive. Yeah. So just a suggestion. Yeah. All right.
thank you,
Okay,
doc.
thank you again for sharing. Yeah. So who's next? Who do you, because we need to close up soon. I'm looking at that.
I
Mike
think
just came in. Mike, thank
Dr.
you for
Jeff.
coming on, Mike. I know I missed you earlier if you went in earlier because I was an hour late. Um who do you want to call, Erwin? Mike?
I
Mike
think
will talk.
I think Dr. Jeff and Sir Mike,
Okay,
because Mama Maria is done.
Ah,
go
good
ahead, Mike.
evening, good morning.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm late because did not sleep well tonight because my youngest daughter has flu today.
Mm.
I hope she feels better soon.
Yes po.
Is it Michaela? Who is it? The little one?
No, Margot.
Margot. Okay.
Yes po.
So I hope she does feel better. Did she have to miss school because of it?
Yes po. Yesterday, she was in my classroom. Miss Moore brought her there
Oh,
in my
poor thing.
classroom. Yeah.
Poor baby. So she actually missed part of her day then. Okay. Well,
Yes
isn't that
po.
the advantage of being working in school because then you kids can just come to you. Yeah. Yeah, your
Yes
principal
po.
is so nice to do that, to bring it
And
bring
then yesterday, I went home early because yeah, because of her
to that
condition. And then Miss Moore allows me
to do
go
that.
home early.
Well, I have
Yes
to
po.
brag on Mike. Mike is becoming an interior decorator of their school. Every event, like the Christmas, their hallway and everything looks so beautiful, and that's Mike. And now with Valentine's, he's also making them Valentine now. So now Mike will have to do his own bulletin board and then the whole school. But when you first come in their school, it's very nice. You can really feel like this is a mood for Valentine's, because you have done such an amazing job with it. 3D look. Your bulletin board. I asked a picture with him there on top in front of his bulletin board because it's so nice. It's very 3D. Did Mabel help you with that, or did you just do it?
Oh, well, I'm the only one who did that. And
Wow,
then
you're good.
I'm just walking to the opposite classroom. Have you seen that the bees there? And then I thought, hey mom, I'm worried that tomorrow your bees will not be here there, and they will transfer on my bulletin board because oh really? Why? Ah, okay, because of the flowers there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah.
And
Well,
then they're
that's
asking me, hey, Mr. Rocco, what design are you going to do on your bulletin board? Because the two classrooms are down where the bulletin boards. And then I
yeah.
told them, I need to finish the hallway first before I do my bulletin board.
That's the expectation now, right? When you change your bulletin board, you change the whole way too.
Yes.
But they're bragging on it, Mike. They're bragging on it. They like it's really adding to it. It's really adding a lot to the school, and so that you're doing an awesome job for doing that. You don't have to do it. It's a volunteer thing, but that's very
Mhm,
nice that
yes.
you added and shared your talent with them because you have the one of the most beautiful classrooms. So every spot in his room just looks so nice and interactive and all that. And the kids love it. And the kids, I'm sure, notice it. So
And then they tell me, hey, you know what? Mr. Rocca can be an art teacher.
yeah,
You know?
that's
And
exactly. That's what Kate was agreeing. Like you're very creative. You should be. She was saying yes already. Yeah.
and then I'm also
Hey, Sir
and I'm also
Mike.
joking.
Yeah.
Oi, hey, why
She's
you
over
did not
here.
wait for us? We're waiting.
Yeah, he's very
Yeah.
creative. Even
Yeah.
in JFL,
Yeah.
he's
I'm sure
doing
they missed him
his
there.
good
Yeah.
job. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, they missed
why.
you there. But anyway, yeah, she just surprised me saying that she was coming. So I'm like, okay, that's nice. But
And we're
Last time I
spontaneous.
asked, yeah, last time I asked you that we're going
Yeah,
to
because
join you there with
I mentioned to
Ma'am
him
yeah,
Mirna.
that I actually am planning to come visit you, but since because of some things that
came up.
came up,
Connect.
I can't go. But this time I really have to honor my word.
Yeah, but you have a sick child too, so that would not have
Yeah.
worked out. But yeah, next time I told her, I said that's the ways of you guys just by yourself. Invite somebody else. But she tried to call people, but Maria was not feeling well, and so she
Yeah, it should
did
be
stop.
Maria,
She did
coming to
stop
you.
there.
Yeah.
But that's that way. Yeah, she and Maria were
Yep.
like FaceTiming me
Yes, po. But I think Ma'am Mirna want to visit you this coming Saturday.
Saturday.
So I
Okay,
will join her. Yes, po.
got
Yes,
it. Okay,
po.
thanks for telling me. So they're gonna be there Friday night or Saturday? Friday night,
um, I think Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. Okay,
But
sounds
we're
good.
not going to spend the whole night there because of Mabel is alone here in our house.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Yeah, so you have to tell me because then we need to get ready to, have something for you to eat. With Dwayne and me, we just usually do not make a big deal about food. We just like snack on something or whatever, because the kids are not here anymore. So I don't
Yes, po.
necessarily have enough for the whole family. If I have to be warned.
Don't
So
worry about that because Ma'am Mirna told me that she will bring some food to eat.
you
She
you
will
do a
cook.
very good job too to bring something. Like, your wife is one of the best cooks around. So yeah.
Mhm.
And these still people still order food from you guys? they order food from you to that she
Na
cooks?
not now po because Mabel is busy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's busy now. All right. Well, anyway, we got you come in just in time. I was about to close up, but I want to make sure that we have talked to everyone who wanted to talk. Let me, I'm going through here because we lost like half of the people already. There's Debbie
Hmm?
that I've not talked to, and there's Julie and Eden. So any of you, Debbie, Julie, or Eden, this is Mike, by the way. If you have not attended before, Mike is like more of a right hand. He's always my co-host, but today he was busy. But a lot of times Mike would actually be the one to let you in. And so anyway, so do you have any question for me or Mike or whoever else, the other speakers here? I'm so thankful of all the speakers for sharing your ideas because it is very encouraging. And I want to hear that from Debbie, Julie, or Eden. What did you feel about whenever they were sharing and you heard about life in America? What impression did that make with you? And what did that encourage you? Did that what did what what's your reaction, I guess? So any of you, Debbie, Julie, or Eden,
Good
you might want to
morning.
talk. Yeah, there you go.
Good
There you go.
morning. Good morning.
Morning. Tell us
Good
about you and then tell us
afternoon.
your reaction.
Um, I am actually already here in the US.
Nice.
I relocated here from Bangkok.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm and then I was the one corresponding with you.
What's your
Um,
last name, Debbie?
Sakuma.
I got it. Yeah, I
I
remember.
was the one corresponding with you and asking you questions, but anyhow, I know a lot of people in the Philippines are wanting to rest, and I know they have also a lot of concerns to ask you. But as to your question, I think it's very important that as Filipinos, we understand the variables coming into this country
Right.
that we cannot question the heart of a Filipino as a teacher. We cannot question the skills that Filipinos have in teaching, the passion. But as my experience in Thailand for 16 years, I've understood that we need to be strategic.
Strategic.
Coming in an international, environment, we have to be strategic. And all that you've said and they've shared are very important to prepare us mentally.
Mhm.
And so, like with me personally, what I did to prepare is while I'm waiting, because I came into the US in a family based. My
Mhm.
husband is an American citizen, and
Okay.
there is a situation right now that we relocated from Thailand. We were supposed to be based in Thailand, but because of a family matter, my husband has to go back here. And so
What state
what
are
I
you in?
did, I'm
Yeah, what
sorry.
state are you? What state are you in?
California, ma'am. I'm in
California.
California right now. And
Okay.
so what I did, so if there are no doors open for me, I kept on knocking. So what I did right now, currently, I volunteered in different schools. So luckily, there are schools who gave me opportunity so I could get into the culture
Good
because
job.
my culture is only in the ESL department in Thailand. So I want to really prepare myself and get into the American culture with a very diversified culture in and of itself. So
Yeah.
I used my experience in Thailand in preparing me here. And so hearing all your teachers, and I'm very inspired, encouraged. It fueled me that, that there is always that possibility to not just foster your potential as a teacher, but really grow as a person.
Mhm.
And it's counterintuitive really to say that we invest in student centeredness, but it's also very important that we invest in ourselves,
Perfect.
because the American culture is very different. And it's not just American culture. Like I was researching everything that you said in your Zoom, ma'am. I have watched, I think, 10 already.
Well, good. Thank
Patiently
you.
watching and learning a lot. And I would like to tell you, you are such an empowered Filipino.
Well,
I'm
thank you.
very inspired by you. And I told my husband, you know what? I'm going to study. I'm going to pursue a lot of things because I just want to be like you.
Oh
You're
my
so
God, you're so sweet.
inspiring. Really,
You make me
really,
cry, but thank you.
you
Thank you.
really. I thought that, having taught for a long time, I'm done. I'm just going to earn so I'll be stable here. But you know what? You've given me a reason to do more and be more,
Yeah.
and make our country proud, and make give glory to God in that sense. You're doing this for free,
Well,
and
thank you.
I'm so blessed.
It
I
was so
really
deep, though.
am. And I'm
Thank you.
sorry.
Listening to a motivational speaker.
Thank you.
You're
Oh,
doing a
you
great
you're
job.
you're just buttering me up. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. It humbles me. But really, thank you, because to have that drive to really, to help kids and to help, ourselves too, help others.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, pay it forward. That's why I don't charge, because I want
Right.
you to pay it forward and help somebody else.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
That's how you
exactly
pay
what
me.
I'm getting from all of you, from the teachers who were sharing their thoughts, and Kate. Wow, that's so amazing! Like it's so inspiring, and it fuels, especially those Filipinos aspiring here.
Uh-huh.
Kate, I am very inspired by you, and hopefully it will fuel other Filipinos who wants to really come over here. It's number
Yes,
one, nothing is
ma'am.
impossible with God. And as long as you have that determination to really want to pursue something, God,
Right,
it's
right.
our
I want us all to, I mean, you can't really push people to be, to have your personality or to have that
The drive.
drive. But I hope that, people, teachers from different parts of the world, will, like have that positivity and
Heart in the right place.
yeah, heart in the right place, in the right mind, and just be positive and pray
yeah,
and keep the faith. you know
yeah,
we have God,
yeah,
we have people,
right,
around us to
right,
help you.
That is
yeah,
really deep too. Have you heard of her?
Right, right. I was listening
You're so deep. Yeah.
the whole
Not.
time, and I'm trying, so I feel like I hope I'm, using the right words for this, but I've got high hopes for each and everyone. You know,
yeah,
like um we can have challenges, but
Can handle
right,
it.
yeah, we can handle all those, and it's okay to get frustrated, to get
right,
mad, but
true.
don't stay there.
Yeah. Don't stay
Right,
there. Visit.
Don't
Visit there. You don't have a
yeah,
mailbox there.
don't stay there. Yeah, make sure you'll find the reasons why you're doing this.
right,
Go back.
Yeah,
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
go back to
right,
the purpose.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Awesome.
Yeah. I've learned a lot from this, even if from just listening, that's why I always like try to also listen to videos and
right,
learn,
right,
words, because it really helps us to socialize like this, and be,
right,
be open, and
right,
help people, also to encourage
right,
people also
right,
by our words.
Yeah. Part of the
right,
learning community, right?
Yeah, and
right. Building
you can't
community,
really
that's
give what
very
you have.
true.
Yeah.
You can't really give what you have. So
Right,
all of these experiences, unique experiences from different people and
right,
cultures, we are actually really, really making a big difference.
You are, and it's
right.
people not just on this one, but then it's recorded, so they watch it on video from
Mm,
years from now, and also on
Yeah.
the Facebook. I mean,
yeah,
I get comments from people that just got to happen to see it on YouTube, and they would
right,
message me, and they would start
right.
following it, and so thank you, and share that with others, okay?
Yeah,
Share that
yeah,
with
and,
me.
and
Help
and
our
it's
team.
very important, I guess, as an ending statement, because I know that there will be others who will be speaking. That it's very important that we have that teachability,
Mhm.
when it comes to coming into this country, because we will be encountering not just the colleagues, but really the market, like the parents. Like that's why I was saying,
Other
you,
stakeholders.
you shouldn't just be skilled and have that passion for teaching. You should be really strategic, because coming into the school environment here, I volunteer in two schools. Luckily, they accommodated me, but then they had a very strict background check on me.
Oh
But then
yeah.
I had to go through it, and I had to pay a lot to be able to just volunteer. But I really wanted the experience. I really wanted to learn and
Mhm.
get into it. And then once my EAD and my AOS will come, my green card will come, then I could go and have that fuel, all those fuel things that I've now as a volunteer, would help me into it, and learning from you. You just don't know,
Thank you.
Dr. Melina, how
Thank you.
many things I have a thick notebook here from all
Dr.
from
McCullough's
all of
notebook.
your Zoom.
That's funny. Well,
I
that's funny.
have
Thank
it's
you.
a lot, and a
Thank
lot
you.
of it is
Yeah,
are
and
coming from
that was
you,
Thank
from
you.
your
that is
38
really
years.
inspiring, Mom Debbie. And you know what? Hearing all these words and like enlightens me, and I hope I am also sure enlightens every teacher who are listening, because it's what, listening to you and listening to Dr. Merlina, it's like a healing power of
Right,
part of us that
right,
sometimes we are the verge of giving up. I
right.
was on that moment too.
Mm-hmm.
know, it really helps if you talk to
Yeah.
people.
Refresh.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
it just helps a lot. You have no idea,
Yeah,
how much that, contributed to the fact that, okay, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and
right,
there's still, hope. You
right.
have to hang on that. You have to hold on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 You did
Thank
such
you.
an awesome job
Yeah,
there.
Yeah,
You and
yeah,
Debbie.
she did. She did. She
I
did.
feel like, yeah, it's just solely based from all the experiences. You never you never get the chance to be like this, person, if you
Mhm.
didn't, go through
So what you've
Right.
experienced,
what
yeah.
you've
And
Like she
just
experienced.
be
would
really,
FaceTime me, she would FaceTime me and talk to me and so
Yeah.
on. And others, you
Yeah.
got close to some of the other Filipinos, and then they
Right.
would go camping, they would go,
Yeah.
hiking and so on. Do you do
Do
activities
something.
together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
do
yeah,
something to
Mm-hmm.
to
really,
better yourself.
Mental health, yeah.
Yep.
yeah, to
Mm-hmm.
really manage your stresses,
Mm-hmm.
stressors
Mm-hmm.
in life.
Mm-hmm.
And after all of that, you'll get recharged.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be back, with your original self. It's just, it's all part of the process.
Yeah.
You get burned out, you get stressed, but it's a privilege. All of these things, it's a privilege to experience all of these things,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, it
know?
makes you grow.
Yeah,
What doesn't break you makes you a stronger
Right.
person, right? Builds
yeah,
Right.
character. My
right.
husband
Right.
always says that. Yeah, it builds character.
Yeah, it builds you as a whole person, your whole just don't forget to prioritize your health and wellness. I make sure, like, I work out too. Like, you really have to prioritize things that you think, kasi capital natin, our health is our
Yeah.
capital.
But she's
So,
also a Kate, go.
yeah.
Yeah. That's me. Merlina, go McCullough. Let's go.
Yeah,
Go,
it's
go,
just,
go.
yeah, no one's gonna encourage and push us,
Yeah.
but ourselves.
Yeah, I think
But
so.
on hindsight, though, if I may, Doctor, it's
Uh-huh.
very important that we understand that all of these resiliency, because of what we have experienced, are making it, we are going to make it as a something that we can use, because a lot of our students, but I was studying the demographics and the how many children in, like in California, are from very dysfunctional family. Those experiences that had fueled us to be people of resilience
Mhm.
will make us relatable to our students.
Right.
Then your knowledge of students will
Mhm.
then come in, and they could trust us, and we are their safe place. And then we'll be able to foster their ultimum learning, with that,
Yeah, yeah,
because
you're
they
right.
we can relate to them. We can make them feel, I've been
Yeah,
through a lot as well.
yeah.
Because if you look into the variables of American society and the educational system, as I was looking at it, wow, a lot of dysfunctional family. And
Not just, yeah, it's everywhere.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
everywhere though.
not
But
only
then
in America,
there's
but
this language barrier, cultural
Yes,
barrier. So we
yes,
have to be strategic in all of this. So
yeah.
thank you so much,
Well,
doctor, and
thank you.
I can't wait to learn more from you, to hear more from you.
Well, thank you.
Really, I do.
Sound like you learned about National Board Core Proposition. You always said knowledge of
Yeah,
students,
I've studied
knowledge
because
of
of
content.
you. I've read a
Yeah.
lot, studied a lot, went through research because of you.
Well,
You've
thank
taught
you.
me a
Knowledge, yeah,
lot.
knowledge of
Thank
content, your
you.
assessment, reflection, and collaboration.
Right,
So you sound like
right.
you have heard it over and over because it's in many of my videos.
And
The
now,
five core
like I
propositions.
said, now getting into the American society as a volunteer, I mean, educational system, it helps me that I'm getting a lot of tips from you, so I'm using it.
Yeah,
So,
good.
so when they see me, we go through interviews, right? I put
Mhm.
in my mind that my greatest interview is my body of work while working in front of them now.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
well,
Yeah.
so
And
that's what
doing
I
that
do.
volunteer work is going to get you through the door and they're going to get to know you.
Right.
To know their
Right.
principal, make sure the principal knows you, and
Yeah,
also the
right.
teachers that you're
Building
working with.
building my credibility right now, doctor.
Yeah,
I cannot just brag, oh, this, that. I have to show it
so
with my
actions.
actions and with my character. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
well, you're
Thank you so
welcome.
much,
Yeah,
doctor.
people always grow their own. So they're going to try to
Right.
look inside first before they start going looking out.
Right.
And so they're going to look at in their staff. Like sometimes my student teachers, a lot of my
Right.
student teachers got hired because they would ask me, they would say, how was this student teacher to you? And I would
Right.
say my honest opinion, this teacher's really strong
Right.
on this. She may want to work on
Right.
this part right here. And
Right.
so I would be very honest because I don't want them to hire somebody that's really weak still, that
Right.
a good fit for the school. And I have said that before. I'm like, well, I don't know if it's a good fit, but you can find it for yourself. But you might want to, like at the end of the year, they'd ask me, and I would say, I want you to come in and observe for yourself. So you could really see and judge it for
Right.
yourself. Because at that
Right.
time, they would already be the one teaching. So many
Right.
have to do the teaching on their own.
Mhm.
So as
Mhm.
as their supervising teacher, I would be in the back, kind of more of like just doing something, but I'm paying attention. And so I want that principal to watch too, to see what do
Right.
you think, how does
Mhm.
this teacher do, right? And so
Right.
that's what they
Right.
would
Very
do. They
true.
do the same with you. So while you are volunteering there, somebody's watching you.
Right. Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Thank
And
you so much,
yeah, you're
doctor.
welcome.
I'm hoping to
You're
learn more.
welcome.
No, it's just so I feel like you have counseling skills.
Yeah, you really
Yeah,
Yeah,
do.
I studied psychology.
You
right.
can tell. I can
I
tell. Yeah.
And I
always
also took
wanted
a
to
lot
do
of
like
classes.
counseling.
Like I took two courses in Harvard to be
Oh,
able
nice.
to
Wow.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
um to be able to just. But no, doctor, I don't have master's and doctorate because what I pursued when I was in Thailand, I don't know if because I know you're accommodating a lot of people. This is why I really attended to you because I have a lot of misalignment. But
Mhm.
everything I pursued for my professional growth were very intentional. Like for when I was teaching in Thailand, there were a lot of special kids students, so I
Mhm.
took special education online.
Mhm.
So it were all intentional, but when it comes to really me applying for jobs, that when I was asking you is that it's all misalignment. But
Yeah.
I believe I have a body of work that would be good for the work. But
Yeah.
then when they look at me and my credentials, they would just say, but I know what I can give to the table, though. I know my credibility. I know what my potentials are. Not for anything, but I just know that I love teaching.
Yeah,
But I'm
and it shows
very
that it
talented.
shows the passion. And so with
Yeah.
that, with you volunteering and them getting to know you in person, that's
Yeah.
gonna be
Right.
the alignment's there.
Yeah.
It's just that with the alignment that you're talking about is when people try to come to the US. You're already here. That's not gonna
Yeah.
be an issue with you. Okay,
I
an
hope.
issue then it would come to, okay, does this teacher have the experience?
Right.
So like do you have, I don't remember how many years of experience you have.
21 years.
On what year? On elementary or high? I don't remember.
Elementary
So
education.
you apply for elementary, you are show in,
Okay.
and California has so many Filipino students anyway. I mean, we have so many Filipino students in California that that you look like you're just in the
That's
Philippines.
very encouraging.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, doctor.
yeah.
It gives me, but sometimes you come to a point where you're self-doubt.
No, you
Because
should
right
not.
now it's like the competition, especially I'm competing with Filipinos from the Philippines. I've said, oh my God, they're really good. And hearing them right now, like, oh, they're so good.
Yeah, but you're an advantage though. You're already here. But you know what the advantage also is that the school does not have to do the paperwork and for immigration. You're already
Right,
here.
right.
And
Thank you.
in fact, if you ever are willing to come here to Arkansas, if you're willing to relocate, I think I may be able to talk to some principals about that, because there's so many that want
I
to do
wanted to, I
elementary,
told my husband that.
but they don't
I
want to
really
spend the
wanted to
money.
meet you in person, doctor. You just don't know.
Yeah, I have three that my priority right now, Giselle, Maria's mom, and then my cousin, but in elementary. But for some that just really like, we don't want to do like bringing people in. We want somebody that's already here. There are some
I'll let
people
you
that would
know once
ask
I
me.
have my EAD and green card,
Yeah,
and I will talk to my husband.
yeah. There's
But
some
I'd
people
love
that
to
are asking me
coordinate
that.
with you.
Yeah, they don't want the board to have permission. They're given permission to hire anyone local or people that already living
Mhm,
here.
mhm,
But some of
mhm,
them do not want to mess with doing the immigration things, and I see
mhm,
that a lot. Or they're
mhm,
afraid to, and I always offer, like, what, if you're afraid, this is your first time, I'll be glad to help you, and I don't charge you for that. The only
mhm.
time I'll charge is that if I personally had to come in, then I have to charge because of my travels and things. But yeah, they are afraid of the paperwork of the immigration. That's what I'm noticing.
Mhm.
And elementary is having a hard time getting in because most of our graduates from the universities are elementary education. We don't,
Mhm.
that's why the high school, I had 13, teachers that were, the offers were rescinded in West Memphis, and 10 of them were high school. No, nine, I think. Anyway, and they were able to come because their needs everywhere. But the elementary is having a hard time because of the local availabilities. They are here already. They've got lots of applications already in. But high school, they would have very shortage of it. One year, my former boss in one school that I was working in said, Marlena, will you please call these three universities, the local universities, find out how many high school math teachers, graduates that they have. Oh my gosh, it was like one in one school, and then three on another, and five on the other. So we had nine that year. And of course,
Mhm.
they got a job already. So I
Mhm.
asked one of the university professors, and I said, so how come we're not getting very many? He said, well, because we had to compete with medicine, with the other health industry that they're getting paid more, to engineering degrees,
Mhm.
computer
Mhm.
science, all those other degrees that pay more. My
Mhm.
son, Jet, is computer science, and he makes on his starting pay makes about a teacher that's been in teaching for 15 years. That's the equivalent of it. Yeah. And that's the starting pay for computer
Mhm.
people.
Mhm.
And I think they get raised and so on. So they'll be 20 years experience. So you cannot compete as in education. In Arkansas, we start at $50,000 a year. That's a
Mhm.
starting pay. I don't know what
Mhm.
California is. Do you know? Did you research about the pay?
Yeah, I've researched around it, 60 to 100 and 100 plus,
Yeah.
depending also on your
Your
experience.
education.
Yeah.
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 That's very, because California is
But
higher pay,
then,
but of course your
of
standard
course, the
is so
cost
high.
of living,
Yeah.
doctor, it will eat up all your, yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah. The
was
rent
looking
is high.
at everything and all the
Yeah.
factors. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
What part of
reality.
California are you? What part of California?
Um, San Francisco.
Oh my gosh, that's really high. That's really high. They're
I
expensive there.
know,
Like,
doctor. I.
yeah, I had a Filipino friend that lived in San Francisco, okay? And she visited my old house. My old house was just simple, but it had an indoor pool and so on. We have big acreage. But he said, Marlena, this house, and I said, this what would be about, like less than a million. But he said, oh my God, this is like 2 million in San
I
Francisco. That's
know.
what she said. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? I'm like,
Especially coming from Bangkok, where the cost of living is very, very reasonable. So it's really crazy for me comparing it from Bangkok to here. So it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, it is. And it's a shock, isn't it? Sticker shock.
Definitely,
Yeah. But
definitely,
your husband
doctor.
is obviously a Californian guy?
Yes, he is,
Yeah.
but he is Asian American.
Asian also.
He
Oh,
was
you
born,
got beautiful
raised and
kids, I
born.
bet.
Yeah, he's Japanese, Japanese
Oh my
Chinese.
God, that's
Yeah, I
best
know.
combination. Oh my
I know.
God. Yeah. Do you have kids?
Yeah.
Do you have kids?
No, 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 don't have
Okay, then you
kids.
are so easy to relocate. Then is his job like, is he retired now or no?
No, no, no. He's young, doctor. He's younger than me. Yeah.
Cougar. See, my husband's way older than me. So yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'll be in touch with you, doctor, and thank you so much. You're an
yeah, you're welcome.
inspiration, and I
Thank you.
appreciate and I honor you so much.
Well,
You just
thank you. Same here with you. Yeah, thank you for all
thank you.
the thoughts that you shared. I appreciate. It's really nice to hear testimonials almost, but then I don't want it to be in my head like, you're so good. No. It
No,
needs to be
you need
humbling.
to understand, doctor, that what you do matters.
Oh, well,
You
thank you.
need to
But
understand that so you can continue doing it. You
yeah.
just don't know how much impact you've done to me because I've seen a lot of Filipinos, but you are the only one who really made an impact to me because,
Oh,
of
thank
course,
you.
you had an advantage because you have been here for more than 38 years. So your perspective is an American, so it helps me get into the culture and the American thinking.
Yeah,
It,
thank you.
it really
Yeah.
helps. Really
Thank you,
helps.
because that's also encouraging for me, Debbie, because sometimes I would feel like, I don't know, am I making a difference?
You
Am I even
are.
helping somebody?
You
Yeah,
are.
because
You
when I
are,
hear that, I'm like,
doctor.
"Oh, maybe
Please.
maybe
You
I
are.
am."
You
Because
are.
you don't hear that. When I do
Yeah.
hear that, I'm like, no, Marlena, you do not take that in your head because they're just saying that.
And she
I would
doesn't
say
get
this.
tired. I don't know where
Yeah,
what
exactly.
makes you I like one of my students asked me, what's pushing you, Miss
What
Kate?
motivates you?
What
Yeah.
motivates you?
Yeah. Well, it's just that I guess your desire to improve education, your desire to
Right.
help others,
Right.
and it makes me happy when I'm helping somebody.
Right.
That's like, that's why they said kindness, you cannot, it always comes right back at
It
you.
multiplies. It
Yeah, it
multiplies
does
indeed.
because you're kind
Indeed.
to people. You don't have any ulterior motive. I'm not doing this
Right.
because I get paid. I'm not doing this because I want them to do this. Just want to do it
That will
because
be your legacy, doctor. Imagine
thank
that.
you. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
your
and
legacy.
When I die, they'll
no, don't
remember
say
me.
that. You're too young. No, you're not aging. No excuses.
And you're
We are
raising
all
our
here
flag. Remember
to
that, doctor.
make
You're
you
raising our
feel
flag.
young.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
We need to
but when
raise
you are
the.
close to 60, like I am, I already passed the middle year. I'm 57 this month. I'm 57 this month. I said, that's my PO box number.
So
PO
this
box
month
number.
is your birthday. May I know when's your birthday, doctor? So I remember
The
it.
17th, 3 days after
17th of
Valentine's. Yeah.
February. Okay, all right.
What? Anyway, I do not make a big deal of my birthdays anymore. I did make a big deal with my
That's
kids.
just the
Like I had a whole
normal
my
days,
yeah, Stephanie,
ordinary days.
yeah, Stephanie on her first birthday, I rented the whole senior citizen center, a big one. And I had like a big roast thing. I have all these people, and Stephanie was one. She didn't know anything. She just like looking at all these people start crying. And I'm like, Dwayne said, yeah, Merlina did that. She was like having this big birthday, but it was my first child. I spent too much money, but that's something that I'm proud that I did because I was actually sharing my culture. Because in the Philippines, we make a big deal about birthdays. But my
Right.
husband would say things like, they're just having an excuse for a party.
Yeah. And I wanna add this, Ma'am Ellen. Like me personally, I feel empowered, motivated also because we have someone, not just someone, like who really encourages us and raising this Filipino pride.
You have
Because
to
It's
that.
your birthday, doctor.
yeah,
You're given tribute
this is
right
a
now.
fight. This is a good fight for all of us.
Roast me, guys.
Yeah, we are all we I mean I'm so personally blessed that I know somebody that I know anytime that I need help, I can lean on to somebody that like advice
Well, thank
on
you. Yeah.
life, on education, in different aspects.
But she flatters me. But when she calls, she always feel like I'm doing something good, like I'm helping her. And like, that's good. It just made my day that I feel useful. Because when you retired, I swear, when you retired, my first 6 months when I retired in 2018 or 16, I was so depressed. Because for 6 months, you cannot do anything. You cannot do anything that makes money. You can volunteer, but you cannot like do consulting work or nothing. You cannot because otherwise you lose your retirement. So for 6 months, I struggled and depressed, and my husband didn't know this, but inside of me, I felt like, who am I? Who am I? Who I have been a teacher for so long. I was
Mhm,
a mother, kids were gone, but
mhm,
who am I who am I?
mhm,
I
mhm.
don't, it is the first time that I ever have to
Yeah.
examine who am I. And so that's when I found this. I'm thinking, what can I do to give back? Because I think
Right,
education has been so good to me and
right,
America has been so good to me. And of course, and I'm proud to be Filipino. So what can I do? And that's what I thought
right.
about. I said, I have a cousin. He's got his doctorate degree and is in the dep ed in Cebu.
Mhm,
So I could
mhm,
contact him and then maybe
mhm,
he has observed some teachers
mhm,
that are good and I could
mhm.
start with that. And that's what Maria.
Right, right.
Maria was my first one, and she, he has
Oh,
already known her, and she sent me her stuff, and then she was the first one that I got hired, and that kind of just fueled me. Leslie could tell you that when we first started having the Zoom, we have 4 or 5 people, and now sometimes we get 100. Sometimes over that they could not come in.
mhm,
My limit is
mhm.
100, but it's nice to see. But the number there really doesn't matter because it's what the content is because other people are
Right,
getting the video
right, right,
yeah.
right.
But I have these 13 folks here that's from West Memphis
Yeah.
that are always regular. And I'm so thankful because they're always here. Yay. I'm part of their Saturday, every other Saturday. Yeah, Mike was asking me, he said, can we just do like, are you still planning to do once a month? And I'm like, I get so many emails, new people, and they really want to talk. Zoom, they don't have to talk, but they can just watch or be there. And I hate to like disappoint them and say, hey, we're only doing it once a month. If you miss it, you won't have another opportunity until another month. So now I'm just saying, you can just do every other week still. Because sometimes when I have company, like my husband had a birthday weekend, my kids sleep in anyway. They don't wake up about the time that I would end this. Doesn't matter. I just had to make sure that I plan ahead for the breakfast. Like I would make the biscuits already done, ready to go, and then the eggs, they just have to warm it up. But you just have to think, you have to think about what do you do? So you would be hospitable still. Like,
Yeah,
Kate, I
like
don't want Kate to be hungry when she wakes up.
right. She's always like this, like multitasking, that making sure that, other people, is taken care of.
Right.
It's a
Even if
Filipino
she's
thing.
busy. That's why I don't know where you're getting all this energy.
You are having that to look at her. That's
Yeah,
disgusting.
sometimes I just wonder why. I just
Because I'm
wonder
50,
why.
you're saying that I'm old, I'm not
No,
supposed
I mean not about your age or what. She's just very consistent.
You just found her purpose. You just
Terrible on
really found
purpose
your purpose.
because if I don't know if I can be like that, but
you will, I promise you will.
I mean, grabe yung drive niya. Grabe yung, I mean,
Because you're in the right passion. Like, I remember saying to
yeah.
my husband, I can't believe they pay me to do this. Oh my gosh, they pay me to do this. I have so much
Yeah.
fun with my students. They don't have to pay me, but they pay me.
Yeah. It's like a lifetime plan.
Yeah.
Oh, like
You found your passion in
yeah,
life, right?
like and if
Right.
it
Right.
stops, it's like
Blah.
you're blurred.
Yeah.
It's blurred, and
What's your purpose, right?
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
she's continuously
Exactly.
serving her purpose.
Yeah. But now I make big bucks with it.
And you're
Yeah.
multiplying a lot of
When I
doctor. You're
charge.
multiplying a lot of Dr.
Thank you.
Melina.
Well, thank
There
you.
will be
Uh-huh.
people like you,
Yeah. See,
And
Debbie, I have to be transparent. I do
Mhm.
not charge here and I charge in if I don't personally
Exactly. That's what is so
personally come. But when I
impressive.
do come, Debbie, I make 1,000 a day or more.
But that's
2,500 a day. So,
you
Wow.
deserve even
yeah.
more than that,
Well,
But
thank you. Yeah, it's
the very
5,000 in other
fact
places.
that you're doing it for us, like trying to really equip us of how to do what to do in this selfish world, you have a
Thank
very
you.
generous and gracious spirit to give your
Well, thank you.
expertise.
Debbie, I want to
And
meet you in person. You'll have to come to Arkansas.
oh, I know, doctor. Please help me
You
pursue.
have an open invitation. You come and I will introduce you to people. But anyway,
Thank
yeah,
you.
right? That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
Thank you.
But for us,
Appreciate it,
yeah,
doctor.
folks here,
I'll be
we're
in
like
touch with you,
fighting
doctor. I'll be in
ourselves.
touch with you.
It's okay.
I'll be in touch with you.
Yeah, they know it's okay to invite themselves. They know my
Yeah.
husband's okay with it. I just have to tell him, hey, warm up the guest house because somebody's coming. And last night is so funny. Kate came in. I'm like, Kate, I will be in bingo. Every Friday I go to bingo from 5 to like 8:30.
Oh, I
I'm in bingo.
enjoyed
And
it.
they
I
knew that. I said,
enjoyed
you're gonna be in bingo. I said, why won't you drive directly to bingo and you can
Yes, I
join
go
me?
straight from West Helena. I went straight to the bingo
Played with me.
location, and then I played with her, and then she was winning, and then I mean you don't always get
She's
that.
my lucky
No.
thing. I'm like, when she arrived, I won. And I'm like,
But I was lucky before too, because we have this gathering and all. I get lucky with the ano ba yun? Yung parang
Drawing?
draw ano ba yun, nalo kami ng ng mga ano ba yun? Yung last time na Christmas party. Is it the
oh
Christmas?
yeah, it was a drawing thing.
Yeah, drawing thing.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
really
raffle, like a raffle thing.
yeah, raffle
you
thing.
know,
Yeah. I'm
She
not
was
really
the refrigerator that you kept here. You
yeah,
didn't get it.
I got it already. Maria brought it.
Okay.
And
Yeah, she was so
yeah.
lucky.
I'm not that lucky, when it comes to raffle draw or what, but I was lucky. I won like three
Three
times.
times, yeah. And she got the costume thing too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, there's some things that you kind of enjoy here with American people, and of course, with Dr. Merlina, she's gonna get you to experience a different kind of stuff.
It was a Filipino party, an hour from me. And it's also an hour from their place, or an hour, 2 hours maybe.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but she came over here, so I brought her with me.
And she's a person that, she's so easy to be with. I always
thank
tell you
you.
this, right?
Same here. Same with
You
She's a Cebuano. You're a Cebuano indeed, ma'am.
Yeah, Bisaya,
Yep.
magod.
Bisaya
magod.
yun, ma'am.
I mean, like
No, Tagalog are good too. I have lots of good Tagalog too.
You will always feel welcomed, and you will not feel like a different person, and you just feel the vibe.
But that's a Filipino thing though. That's like we are the
Yeah.
friendliest people in the world, the hospitable people in the world. I remember thinking, we have the only king size bed in the house. And so when my son-in-law, is only six footer. So can we like give away bedroom, so my husband said, nope, we're not. Filipinos do. We do. We give our
Yep.
best things to the
Right?
company,
Like
right?
the planes that are being kept for
No,
like
yeah. Oh my gosh.
even there are
Yeah.
okay, let them use this.
I used to think that, but now I use the best for me. Why am I saving that for others when so I buy my, wine thing, whatever. I would
Yeah.
use that on myself or the other because you do not. Why would you reserve that?
Yeah.
And I think that's a Filipino thinking too. That we have to reserve this. We have to hide it in the cabinet
Yeah,
and
when
all
you're in
that.
the US, it's really
You just use
different.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, just have to enjoy it while it's there.
Yeah.
It's
Use your
there.
silvers. Yeah. So anyway, but thank you again, Debbie, so
Thank
much.
you,
I was
Ma'am Debbie.
yeah, appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. So yeah, Julie and Eden. I don't know if they want to talk, but we out talk you guys. Thank you again, Deb. So Julie and Eden, do you want to say before we say bye? I just want to see your face though. I want you to talk to me so that you will be recorded. So that, by the way, Debbie, I've talked to you enough and I've communicated with you in email enough that you feel free to add me as a reference and I have lots to say about you. So yeah, so make sure you feel free to do that. And my address would be in the bottom of my email. And they can call me, okay? Yeah, but I only say that to people that I have already known, like all these 13 folks. Oh my gosh, I could say a lot of things because they have attended so much. Giselle is one of my like perfect attendance girl. Yes, she's attended so many, and she could like teach this class. But, yeah. Okay, Julie and Eden. I think Eden's about to talk. Maybe Eden.
Hi, good evening, Doc.
Hello,
Hi,
hi Eden. Where are you
good
from in the
morning.
Philippines?
From Philippines.
What part? Like Cebu, Manila?
Cavite.
Cavite, you're Tagalog. That's
Yeah,
Tagalog.
Tagalog.
Yeah.
Northern.
But tell us more about you.
Yes,
Yeah. Did you
I'm
learn
current.
something from here today?
Yes, Doc. It's my third or fourth time
Okay.
you attended in your Zoom meeting.
Okay. So you're one of the quiet ones that I did not get to know yet because you're just like listener. So, right?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. But some
Because
people
my
need to do
baby
that.
is already sleeping.
Okay.
That's why I can open my cam.
Right, right. I understand.
So,
Yeah. But
yes
but
po.
thank you for the third time. Nice. It's a compliment to us too. Be like, oh, this is not a bad group. They came back.
Yeah. I mean, given the
Yes.
fact that it's late.
Yeah.
I always waiting for the Zoom. So
Oh,
that's
that's so
why,
sweet.
Something to look forward
Yeah,
to.
that's sweet.
yes,
Just like me waiting for my
yes,
next episode for my
Right.
next
yes,
episode for my
yes, doc.
K-drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And always like your uh notes or in this group.
Strategies, yeah. But
This,
tell me more about
yeah.
you. How many years of experience, your degrees, all that stuff.
Uh, I'm currently teaching here in Cavite for 15 years
Okay.
in elementary.
Elementary, okay.
Mm,
Education,
I'm handling grade six learners
okay.
for 5 years and grade one learners for 10 years.
Okay.
Um, now I'm also their guidance designate in our school
Okay.
and do some tasks like the data management in our school, the and also the physical facilities and other coordinatorship.
Good. Your leadership, yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what's your teaching philosophy and why do you want to come here? What do you believe
So
about
my
teaching?
teaching philosophy, so I want to teach and to share my knowledge and experience to my future learners so that my love for teaching is to help the learners to be a good leaders or model as she grown up.
Okay. So you
So I
want them to
want
be great.
to, yes, I want to share or uh, impart my experience as as a teacher or as we grow to others.
Okay. Yeah, so you want to impact learners. You might want to start with something like I believe in the importance of impacting students through my, and all that. You can say it that way, or
Yes.
you can say what you said too, but it's maybe much more impactful if you say, I
Yes.
believe in the importance of, having relevance in my teaching, that students, when they learn from me, that applies to their lives, things like that. So you can kind of
Yes.
say it that way, but how you said it's okay too. But I just was
Yes.
explaining that. But anyway, so do you have a question for me? You always need to prepare a question, because at the end of your interview, you're going to be asked, like, do you have a question for us or for me? Do you have any specific questions? Do not say, like, how much do you pay? Because it's on their website. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's because I already watched the your Zoom meeting, the previous, so that's why I have knowledge, background knowledge. So, but I, unfortunately, I can't send my resume to you and my cover letter
Why?
because I'm so busy.
Okay. Well, you have to
So
remember, Eden, you make time for what's important to you. So if
yes,
coming
yes,
here to America is important to you, you make time to do that.
yes,
Yeah.
I have already the resume. I I'm looking forward for the cover letter, and also I enrolled in driving to
Oh,
get
good for
the
you.
driver license.
Good
So
job. Yeah. You're starting.
yes,
But it's McCulloughMerlina@gmail.com. So look at my
yes,
last name
doc.
there. Yeah. And then
Yes, po.
yeah, feel
I
free to
already
send
chat on you, and
with
we
what
have
Eden. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay. So
yes,
my memory is so bad that I don't remember. I've
yes,
talked to
yes. I
these people.
understand, doc. Yes.
So sorry. But thank
So
you for
that's why
talking with
I'm
me
always
today. That's
yes,
gonna
po.
be very
Yes.
good to continue to do that, because do you teach in Cebuano, or I mean Tagalog, or do you teach in English in your classroom?
Tagalog and English po. More on
Okay.
Filipino and English.
Okay. You
Yes,
you
po.
learn
That's
you teach
why
more in English
hearing,
practice. Yeah.
yes, so hearing in the I listening on that Zoom, so it makes way to speak in English
Good job.
because
Yeah.
uh I am a pure Tagalog.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, you would learn and you will absorb it, especially if you're really interested in,
yes,
I'm really wanting to
yes,
come. And then you will
yes,
yourself,
yes.
you can make yourself like, I need to be a sponge. I need to remember this thing.
Yes, just
Yeah.
like Mom Debbie, so she's very fluent in English.
She is very
So
fluent, isn't she?
that's why
Well,
I
she
felt
also had,
I
yeah, she had multi-years in another country, and she's married to an American. So yeah, she's got a little
yes,
advantage there. And I do too,
yes,
because I'm
yes,
married to an
Mom.
American as
Yes,
well.
Doc.
But yeah. Yeah. So you
Yes,
speak
po.
it daily.
So yes, po.
Yeah, nice to hear that.
Practicing.
I was married to an American.
Kate. Kate. That's another story of Kate trying to get her married. No, I'm kidding. But anyhow, so yeah, do you have any kids? You have any kids at home? You say?
Yes, Doc. It's already sleeping.
Okay, one, only
That's
one?
two po. Two.
Two. Okay. How old are they?
Yes.
How old are they?
10 years old and 3 years old.
Oh my God, you have spaced them out too. Mine is 9 years difference for mine. So yeah, so I was really, it was only going to be a one child thing, but then later on, every time I wanted to have another child, I would watch the video. Not it's a decent video, but I could hear myself, with the pain. So I was like, forget it, I don't. And then somehow the video got misplaced. And so I could no longer watch it. So then I was like, okay, we have another one. So luckily for us, you're blessed that we have a girl and then we have a boy. So we have a boy and a girl. Do you have a boy and a girl?
Or a boy.
Both
Two
boys.
boys.
Yeah, both boys. Okay.
Yes
Well,
po.
there you go. Your husband's last name would continue on, right? Yeah, the last name. But do you know now that there are actually some people are choosing not to take their husband's last name.
They want to
They-
keep
yeah, they
their
want to
last
empower
name.
themselves but to me, I'm so traditional on that, right. I know my son was dating somebody that was not from another country, and she said that she was going to get married to my son, that she was not going to take the McCullough last name. And I
Mm.
remembered feeling sad about that. And I'm thinking, because I
Yes.
never shared what I felt, but I just thought, my gosh, that's so sad that she will not take my son's name. And I liked her a lot too, the girl, but it did not work out for them. But still, that was a shock to me that somebody would actually choose not to. But of course, with the Gen Z and the other generation now, that's choice. You cannot force people to do something. If that's what their choice, you have to respect that choice. right? But
Yeah.
an old fogey like me in my close to 60,
Traditional,
yeah,
very
traditional
traditional.
thinking.
But if you were to ask me, I would want to
Take your husband's side.
take my
Yeah, you
husband.
feel like you're honoring him, you know? I guess that's what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
that I'm honoring him by taking his last name. You know, when I got married, I dropped my dad's and, you know, take his, you know, the name. So, yeah. All right. Well, nice talking to you, Miss Eden. I appreciate you so much.
Mm.
All
Thank
right.
you po.
Yeah.
Here
So
is
Julie's,
1:30
yeah,
a.m.
yeah, I
Get
know.
some rest.
Yeah. So, yeah, Julie, does she want to say anything before I go? Before we go? Okay, so nothing. All right. So Julie, I'll just maybe talk to you someday. And the next meeting is on the 22nd. So we skip next Saturday and it will be the next one. So Myrna and them, if you want to come next Saturday, is perfect. I don't have Zoom. So anyway, so yeah, thank you so much. And do remember that you're making a difference in your children's lives. Okay, we are all making a difference. So make yourself be encouraged with that. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna say bye to everyone. Thanks a lot for attending, and you are so awesome. So yeah, thanks. I appreciate your testimonials too, Debbie especially, and the others that attended and are already here, the blessed ones. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye. So
Bye, Doc.
John, Mike,
Bye, Doc.
JR,
No, thank
yeah,
Thank
you.
you
Take
po,
Eden,
care,
Doc.
Maria,
everyone.
yeah,
So,
Julie, Giselle, Myrna. Yeah. So
Already.
many of you. Okay. All right. Bye guys.
Bye, bye.
Bye bye. I don't know what ending was. I was where the ending is to end it. Oh,
yeah,
there it is.
yeah. You have
Okay.
a very good connection, Ma'am Ellen. Here, the